Hey, good evening, everyone. This is the Knowledge and Relationships Network. I'm your host, Stan Transformation, and co-hosting me tonight is.
It's so sure.
All right, how you doing?
I'm doing marvelous out here. I'm doing marvelous.
Okay, okay. How was your day today?
It was. I don't want to contradict my marvelous. So,
No, details, details.
no, it's like you have one of them days where you just have to question if you're in the twilight zone or not.
Details. What do you mean the Twilight Zone? What happened? What was so Twilight Zone-ish? Not Twilight Zone as in black and white Twilight Zone, or Twilight Zone as the vampires from the movie Twilight. Because this generation.
See, you done went off rails.
But you know what? This generation, they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, she's talking about the werewolves." And
No, not that. I know what you mean. Not that one. It's just like, I know how I think, right? I know the way I am. But when other people start doing things that is so abnormal to common sense, it makes me question myself. Like, I would never just walk up to anyone and say, "Hey, I want $80,000 right now because I spent it."
what?
Even if I'm gonna give you 80, I want to have a conversation. I need documentation. I need proof. Like, why would you do that? Like, who want? I don't know. So I just had to take a breather. Like, maybe it's because I look stupid. See that stupid right there? Okay. I don't know. Stan. I think they don't like me. I don't think they like me.
I will say this: in the world of where hustling has been a life, not only a lifestyle but occupation, a legitimate occupation.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? It's so irritating because a part of me is like, why you just can't be regular? Have a regular job. But then when you think about it, yeah, it's regular jobs aren't as lucrative like that.
Yeah, people like, it's a brand new world. That's what.
It's a brand new world. But you know what? Talking about brand new world, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm seeing a lot of people talking about how scary it is, right, to date 2022. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really see that. I don't. And the reason why is because the same things people doing today, they've been doing. It's just it wasn't culture to talk about it. It wasn't culture to really be upset about certain things. It just wasn't like the same stuff has been going on. Like, how many times have you seen movies back in the 80s of a guy or a girl being ghosted while waiting on somebody at an ice cream parlor or something and didn't show up on a date?
Ghosting is something. I think ghosting now is yeah, because I think it was called something else, right? When you got like we used to call it diss, or somebody left you, or like nobody showed up, right? Like,
there was no term for it. It was no physical term for it. Yeah, I just would say the person didn't show up.
Yeah, and then that's it. You never hear hi and tell the person. But I think ghosting's a little something else because you are vested in the person, and you had communication with the person, and you're looking forward to be with the person. You've already spent time with the person.
Didn't we call it running off? Remember? Back in the day, it was called running off.
Yeah.
Running off. Like, he ran off, or she ran off. Like, da 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 da. Like, that's what I thought. This is why I'm like, it's dangerous. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like, it's been like that. It's just people now they idolize the elders and.
No, I think there's some people who like ghosting people. There are some people it gives them some form of energy. They get a God complex, right? It's a God complex for them to like go ahead and like get somebody into them and to disappoint them it's something about that for certain people where they're really like they really feel good to go ahead and feel like I crushed somebody because somebody crushed me back when I was in the fourth grade and she had three little plants in her head and I gave her $1 and she took the dollar and gave Jimmy some took my money and paid Jimmy's cookies with it. You know, like and then it carried on and become a supervillain. So
right. Oh my God! And here's the common sense thing about that, right? When people be like, all the girls didn't want me when I was in grade school or high school, but now they want me now. I'm like, first of all, they would say the women didn't want me when I was in grade school and when I was in high school. And my first response to that is always, first of all, dude, there was no women in your grade school that wanted you. There was no women there that wanted you. And if they was raping you, okay? Secondly, there was no women in your high school that turned you down. These are children, you dumbass. Seriously, talking about they didn't want me when I was a child. Basically, when I was a child and I could offer nothing but my looks, and I didn't even have that shit. Because you know, a lot of women didn't grow into their handsomeness till they was older. So I'm like,
I'm gonna speak on behalf of the brothers, right? So, like, I think what was my generation? My generation, what was it?
Or this generation?
Okay, then we'll go like when there was like when people were into B2K, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Or when girls were, and so a lot of guys felt like, well, you shun me for B2K. Or even when girls was into Vouaghn, I was like, okay, like, you know, it's like, yeah, you're gonna get turned down. Like, guys are gonna be okay. Then you grow into your looks, you grow into your height, and you're gonna be fine. But to go ahead and to invite people in and to purposely ghost people because you want to crush them because you feel crushed, like, hey, let's just keep it honest here. Like, that's really evil. If you didn't have any intention of meeting this person, you know, like, you got to look at that, and that's like some weird of a sociopath. Now, I might come like, I know somebody's going to say, well, their therapist says it's going to be okay. Just because there are some therapists out there, I'm going to be honest with you, I think some of y'all need to be on the same page when it comes out to social outings. People have to deal with people socially. Like, we all got to read the same book. We got to read the same book. You know what? Like, okay, you single, you can't go around ghosting people. People need closure. Or they probably doing this on purpose so they get new clients. Maybe that's the deal. Maybe it's all a gimmick. But if somebody said, like, you don't owe anybody anything, I'm like, you know what? If you bond with somebody via internet and you've been texting every day and you've been sending each other TikTok videos and then you've been sending each other gifts and on each other's Amazon list thingies and doing online dates and straight up having dinner time, doing FaceTime. During COVID, a lot of people was going with COVID. A lot of people were doing that, right? And that hasn't changed. There's some people who still doing that. So if you're out here trying to be a player online, literally online, you're causing more damage than good.
Right. And here's the thing. I don't think people know or realize how much damage they have done to other people because they only look at it from this. And I'm not saying they're bad people because I do that too. Like, I'm my first response is to my own well-being, so I think about how I'm hurt. But a lot of people don't understand the things they've done that actually have impacted the next person, or the things they've even said that impacted the next person, and the next person is still dealing with it. I don't think we really even understand or even care to understand some of the things we say to people. But I'm gonna be honest with you, in 2022, people feel at liberty to say gut-wrenching things, and they don't really understand that as much as you're gonna say gut-wrenching things to people, you're gonna feel that back too, because this is a reality based on reciprocal energy. So, you know, I mean, that's why I always, no matter what happens with me, I try to leave relationships, and it's not always romantic relationships. I don't leave jobs sour. I can always go back to a job. Like, I'll never leave jobs sour. So every relationship has to begin and end based on what's best for you, and what's best for you is not to have enemies, basically. But I'll be honest with you, like we talking about, we got that little Halloween thing. We talking about.
No, Mike, this is not Halloween. Remember, this is Day of the Dead. This is Day of the Dead.
Okay, well,
this is Day of the Dead. This is Day of the Dead. Yeah.
But ain't that is it's like a whole celebration. So
yeah,
the day
it's to celebrate the life of the people that's not here with us anymore.
Right. So okay. So tonight, this is a tribute to the ancestors, basically, right?
Yes. And loved ones. Yes.
Okay. All your loved ones and your ancestors, this is a tribute to the night. So
remember, I always say that people been monsters all year long, so y'all been wearing your Halloweens just fine. It's just like on Halloween, you just showing people what you really look like on the inside.
Why you gotta pick on people this early?
It's just true. You've been ugly all year for decades. You've been ugly. You've been breaking mirrors. Your soul breaks mirrors. Your soul and your spirit been breaking mirrors and breaking cars and just been breaking spirits. Now Halloween, put them fangs on. Go ahead and set that wig. Put out that big giant thing you call a snake thing. Wherever monster you really are behind closed door. Take off your human mask and go out into the world. Happy Halloween. Because some of y'all been monsters all year long. I ain't gonna say no names.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give the look.
Especially the girls dressed up in the what you call it, the bunny outfits, the sexy outfits.
The Playboy bunny.
Yeah, like, and I'm sitting here like, you'll dress up like that on Halloween, right? But your man will have a complaint about the fact that you lazy when it comes to being a woman behind closed doors. But you want to dress up like you really on it like that, like on Halloween. Like, mind you, in my opinion, whether or not it's okay, Day of the Dead, Halloween, or All Souls Day, this is a family event, right? You got children involved with the candy, you got people involved. And today it's about ancestors. So it's like, okay, there's no real room for you to be extra sexy outdoors. So the fact that you go out your way to do that,
Halloween,
Halloween, says that you really have been wearing that opposite mask all year, and now this one day you want to show people, oh, I can do it. I just don't feel like it no other day of the year, whatever. So that's that. I found that to be very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because if you're wearing that on Day of the Dead, right, and you're going like, and mine is a 3 days festival, but like you wearing a scantily clad outfit, men or women, and your ancestors look back and like, look at this.
Right.
Can you look at this?
She really thought she had got that off. Like, no, that ain't gonna happen. I mean, I wanted to be an alien for Halloween. I just didn't have the energy, you know, because I don't know. I wanted to be the alien from what's that show? Is it Stranger? It's either Stranger Things or it's an alien show, Lost in Space. It's an alien from there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I want nothing to do with aliens. Huh? You know, I got a green card, so I ain't trying to get deported. So I'm not. But it's like now I got all my ideas down, and I'm 40, and I don't really do it like that. I got the best ideas for costumes. But that's what I'm saying. Like my regular face has been a regular human being. It's all year. Now on Halloween, I want to be a star seed. Yeah, all year long, I'm an American citizen, and I do that again for Halloween. Don't deport me.
Like, that'd be crazy. Somebody, what are you for Halloween? An American citizen. Like, that's something you can say. Like, you think
I love America. I was like, I love America very, very much.
Well, listen. Well, okay, we got to get to the videos because last week we kind of went off track.
We went everywhere, but it was a good introduction, though. We have to admit.
Yeah, but it's like we didn't get to the videos, but we had everything ready ready to get to the video. We just didn't get to the video. But the videos to react to tonight, and I wanted to just, I'm gonna share my screen. And you can, let me make sure I put this on my screen correctly, okay? And I'm gonna hit play, but let me share my screen. Where am I? Hold on. Share. Okay, so I'm gonna play this and we'll react to it. All right, Stan?
All right.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, while we think it's a boy to be just dateable, after a while they get played out. They get played out for a long time. I expressed so many dateable characteristics and couldn't understand why I wasn't getting different outcomes. Because I was dateable. Dateable and not mateable. Artists,
for a fact, I'm dateable. There's no two ways about that.
Okay.
And let me say this: most people in those categories think too much of themselves. That's number one. And they go through all of those changes, and at the end of the day, they end up with a bum, whether it's a woman bum or a man bum. And when you see them, you be shocked. You're like, man, you get all of that. And they have false expectations because the thing they're talking about is unrealistic because they live in fairy tale land.
Oh, why we think?
Okay, did you catch that, Stan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So, all right. Now, I feel like this is gonna, I need to take a breath on this one before I respond. So.
Why?
Because,
why you gotta take a breath though?
Well, first of all, what she said, I think, is very much a different conversation than what the caller was talking about. And I get that she was agreeing, but I think he's slightly taking the conversation elsewhere versus what she was talking about, because she's talking about the difference between dateable and marriageable versus he's saying people are delusional in their wants or whatever the case may be. That's based on different things, and I think that's a different
I thought it was similar. I thought he was on it because I didn't know she said marriageable. I thought she said mateable.
Well,
because mateable and marriageable are two different things.
Well, here's the thing: mateable means able to have sex and produce kids. Like everyone's mateable, if that's the case.
Or no, because there's some people you might dateable. Like, thank you for your time. Thank you for your application. You are rescind. You're not rejected.
Wait a
you are rescind.
Wait, but okay, maybe I need to know what mateable is, because I thought when she said mateable, she meant or was referring to marriageable. That's what I thought, because I don't really understand mateable. I don't understand the definition of that.
Well, I thought like what mateable meaning like girlfriend, boyfriend. It could lead into marriage. Sometimes it don't. Sometimes it do. Sometimes it could be a long, what's they call that thing what people used to have? Not an affair. It's called common law marriages. Well, you're just together and you didn't get married. You've just been together for a long time. I feel what she said, because a lot of times, you know, you keep on going on these dates. It's like, look, you know, for me, I go for the end result. Like if we're not going towards boyfriend and girlfriend, I'm cutting this stuff out. And I can find out during that first date, the questions you ask, the stuff that you order. I'm looking at you. I'm just like, yeah, we ain't gonna meet up again. I'm good. And then
explain that, Stan.
What do you mean?
Explain that in the context of dateable versus mateable. When you, let's say you dealing not well, okay, you're trying to see if you want to deal with somebody, and you notice that they order, I don't know, a bunch of pumpkins.
Oh, well, I'm looking at food. I'm looking at food like straight up, like how you treat people, like the whole, like taking you to a restaurant and an experience. I always tell people like, man, you can tell how somebody is when you go to a restaurant, when you're too particular, too nitpicky, sending stuff back. and I'm looking at you. I'm like, you don't even cook yourself. So this is how you're gonna treat me within the relationship. You're gonna constantly keep on putting me on this little cycle because things are not up to par when you really don't have a blueprint yourself. So you feeling good to be empowered to treat people like dirt. No, thank you. You are rescind back to the community of singlehood. So I'm rescinding your application. You're gonna be all right.
So
somebody wants you, but not me.
That person isn't dateable for you. However, is it, even though that's the case, would you say that they may not have been, without that, they may have not even have been mateable? Like they're not dateable or mateable, and maybe there's a third option.
What's the third option? That friendship stuff you guys like to push?
No, that's what I'm saying. She said mateable, and to me, mating means simply sex. So I'm like,
okay, here's the thing about dating, right? So like, you go on a couple of dates, and what I mean, like to see an end result. The dates lead into something. The dates not always have to be Disney, right? Sometimes I get tired of just dinners. Like, look, vampire, can we meet during the daytime? Can we like? Can we even go to freaking McDonald's for once? Oh my God, I haven't taken a girl out to McDonald's. Like, I've seen you eat McDonald's before. I've seen in your back seat, there's a bag, a brown bag with a symbol on it. So I don't know that McDonald's or Burger King and it's brown, or is it Chick-fil-A? No, Chick-fil-A is white. So it's Wingstop. So I've seen you going out the fast food before. I don't hear nothing but no low vibrations. I want to do regular stuff. By then, it's like, okay, the dating is coming to mating. I'm like, okay, I can see myself with you for a minute. Like, okay, I like you. And that is something I like. I want to, like, that's my end result. Like, I want to see it grow beyond the whole thing of like, okay, you pick you up, you got your flowers. Oh, it was a nice evening. And I was like, whatever. Are you gonna call within 3 days? Or are you gonna wait for 5 days? You know?
I see what you're saying. Okay, so we're talking about serious relationships for mating, correct?
Mating, it becomes more serious, right? Because you imagine both lives, right? Yes. Right. Okay. Dating, what I'm seeing now with the dating, even dateable, I'm going to say this. This is going to be kind of hard for people to take in. I want everybody to take a deep breath. Just and hold it and push it out.
Okay.
Nobody asks you out. There's a chance you're not dateable.
If no one asks you out, there's a chance that you're
not dateable. They're not even thinking of you that way. You're not even a friend. They don't even take you out to like lunch.
Well, I'll say this though. If you have an A-type personality, I mean, you usually get asked to go out by lots of people, not just, that circumstance.
Okay, when I mean ask for lunch, I mean ask for like there's a chance that we might go to HR, but we're going to act like we're not going to HR because I really want to get to know you. Lunch. Because we spend a lot more time at work than anywhere else, right? So we're going to see if we can like actually like, okay, you want work romance. A lot of people try to stop work romance. HR tries it. But a lot of times, a lot of people meet who they marry at work because you spend a lot more time at work. That's realistic, right? Mm-hmm. I would say, like, for a lot of people, a lot of us, right? If you've never been asked out and nobody's seen you sexually attractive, nobody have any desires to you after work, nobody actually don't want to spend time with you, there's a chance you're not really dateable. I mean, that's going to be a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow. So a lot of people are going to have feelings about this what dateable is, this what mateable is. But for some of y'all, like, let's be honest, when did anybody spend time with you one-on-one?
I see what you're saying. Well, okay.
You're not dateable. Therefore, you're not mateable. You gotta get dateable to be mateable. So if you ain't, just get you dateable though. Brush the teeth. Gotta floss it. Don't see that dentist.
Listen, there's a lot of girls that got perfect teeth that don't know what to say out their mouth. But wait a minute. Let me say this about the what the lady said, right?
Yes.
Here's the thing, right? Some people honestly are the type that they're very punctual. They have good conversation. They're good conversationalists. They are very creative and or festive, right? And so these types of people, when they come into a public scene, they look good, they smell good, other people like to be around them. These are people that can be what I consider habitual daters because they've mastered all of the skills, necessary skills at dating, right? Because dating, it encompasses a lot psychologically and stuff like that. So, they can professionally take you to, like, if you're on a date, right? Most people know there's certain rules that you have to abide by, and if you break them, that obviously your date can go bad, right? Some people.
You go on to your next date.
Huh?
You go on to your next date because it's okay.
No. What I'm saying is there's some people that are excellent at doing all the right things on dates, right? But they've just mastered just what to physiologically do. It's not authentic. And so when they have to actually, let's say, be vulnerable, which is an internal process, they can't be that way. Therefore, they're not mateable. They're very dateable, but they're not mateable. So there's that barrier. She's talking about females and males that don't even get to the starting point. That's what she's talking about. Now, my thing is, a lot of people are past the starting point, and obviously those are the only people I really care about. But there is a chance that you could be a professional dater and suck at everything else.
Yeah, I want to be honest with you. Yes. I'll tell you this. At one point in my life, I was booked for 6 months.
What do you mean you mean?
I was booked. My dating, I was booked for 6 months.
Oh, wow.
I was booked. It wasn't helpful for me because I didn't know who I was dating when I was on to the next. Because that week belongs to the person I'm going to see that weekend, right? Mm-hmm. So thank you for the time. It's been real. Deuces. Now I got to move on to the next chick starting on Sunday night until it's time for us. Then I'm like, okay, you're done. But and I agree with you, when you keep on going on and on and on, it took like my older brother Tucky to sit down with me and talk to me about it and have me to stop. Because it wasn't helping me out with the process of like, which one of these women do you really want to date, or which one do you want to date again? Because if you keep on going out, I want to say this to all the brothers that keep on going out, right? There's a callousness that takes place because it's become so automatic and it's so easy to do. The woman that's sitting across from you is you're just wasting each other's time. Like, it's like, okay, you might see me as a potential. I'm just only seeing you as tonight because I got somebody else on my mind for next week on my days off. And that's the whole problem. That's the whole problem of constantly dating all the time. It doesn't. I'm agreeing with you, ladies. It's like, as the guy who always used to date all the time, it does not help. Like, I'm gonna tell you, for me, it did not help me at all. Because I'm not that type of person. I like to spend time. I want to get to know you. I want to like, hey, like, let's go out, hang out after work. Let me take you home from work. That's the type of person I am. But I wasn't doing that. I was so out of my norm.
Well, hey, Miss Polly.
Miss Polly.
Can you hear me?
What's up?
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I've been listening. I hear you. It's nice to see you guys. I'm doing well.
I'm glad to hear that.
I'm glad to have you here too.
We were just chatting. I was gonna say to Stan that I think that dating a bunch of people, right, is what is marketed in terms of being able to make the right choice. However, in my experience, when you have too many options, essentially you don't have any options. It's just like cable television. When you got 1,000 TV stations, normally you just flicking through. You can't decide what you want. Versus when we were young, we had channel 2, 13, 45, and 54, and that was it. And you knew when you was gonna get in front of that TV, and there was no confusion about what you was gonna watch. So, but we had to see what that was about. But it's like I always feel like that. Like sometimes there's a threshold. We're sure you might want to explore your options. However, if your options got you to the point, like Stan, where he don't even see people as people, it's just someone in front of him. This is with multiple, dating or whatever is corroding you as an individual. And I think when men get corroded by dating, it's kind of dangerous. Yeah.
What's your thoughts, Miss Polly, about dateable and mateable?
No. I do think I think you're right. When your options are too many, you can't make a decision. You got to narrow down what is good for you, what works for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just be available for everybody. It doesn't make because not everybody's meant for you, if that makes sense. You know, people aren't good matches, and you should recognize that. You should just like off the bat, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be honest, here's just a good example is I not want to date somebody who is very jealous or very, very, and that's not just because I date more than one person. It's because even if in a monogamous situation, I'm too friendly. I'll be honest. I like hang out with different people, meet different people, interact with different people, and that would be a trigger for them. So I would be constantly fighting with them. There'd be no purpose to date someone who can't handle the fact that I like to interact with a lot of other people that aren't them. It just would not work. But it would work, and it just would end bad. So that's like an example. You should know that. And so you should then, if someone comes to you, they start having a little bit of jealousy or making comments that are like, you should be like, hey, listen, I don't know if this, we're meant to be together because you can't handle what I'm doing over here.
Right.
Well, you gotta be okay with that.
Well, I was gonna say we got some other videos, right, that we want to take a look at, and you can give your reaction to it. I'm gonna share my screen for another video, and let me try and bring this up. There we go. Okay, so Miss Powell, just take a listen. If y'all can't hear, let me know, but just take a listen, and we'll react to it in terms of what it's really talking about. All right, so here we go. Wait a minute, that into astrology one, that was unfair. Okay.
But that was like into social media. Like, she don't have a personality because she's into social media.
Yeah. That's bad.
Wait, Miss Polly, okay.
He's never gonna be able to.
What's what I'm saying? So, okay, if this is what the choices that men feel they have, right? They got so many choices of women. There's more women than it is men and all this other stuff. Like I said, if you really got choices, right? As a man, there's like 6 women or 9 women in every man, right? And you looking like this guy, I really don't think you should be boasting about you got options. Or you like, I really don't think you should as a guy, because I hear a lot of guys talking about you this, I can just go get me a 20-year-old, or I could go just all that right. Meanwhile, you got 20-year-olds walking around talking about no. And I'm like, listen, y'all don't have the options that you claiming you have, and I'm calling cap. I'm just saying. What say you?
I mean, that's true. They don't have it. No, they don't. They'll say I have options. Basically, they're saying I can get with someone. I can pretend to be with someone like them, and pretend I could get them, but I actually don't want them. That's what you're basically saying.
Yeah, literally.
Fake it,
but I don't want them.
I think the video meant something else.
No.
Okay. I think the video meant like, just picture it, right? A nice 95 degrees, and she's wearing a sundress or a muumuu, and the wind just blow just right. And you approach.
What kind of scene is this? This is a fantasy, sir?
And she tells you, and then she tells you like, "Hey, I have a kid," and then you're like, "No." It's like a lot of times we approach, we don't know what we're getting until we go ahead and approach.
Well, Stan, okay, let me tell you this, right?
Okay.
I think to a degree, and I'm not saying he's wrong for his choices, but to a degree, you can't be the type of guy that's out here looking literally for perfection, because although we don't talk about it on the male side as much, there's a lot of men out here that will sit there and be just like him. Every single flaw that a female has, they're saying nope to. Meanwhile, at the end of the day, the question is what woman is gonna make you the happiest? It's what woman can you put up with? Like,
I'm gonna say this: it's not a flaw to have children. That's number one, right? Number two, you gotta know your threshold. Do you want to deal with children? You know, there are some people, like there are some women, right? Men and women. There are some men and women that are meant to be fathers and mothers. There's some men and women that are meant to be uncles and aunties. And there are some men and women that are meant to be danger, Will Robinson. Get them away from these kids. And that's like, some people are just that. Like, those are three categories. There's some people that's just that. If that person does not have a threshold to deal with children, respect them and rescind them back to the dating pool. Rescind. It's okay to rescind, right? But there are some stuff where like it's not for perfection, right? At this point of our age, the time you hit 25, you kind of know yourself, right? You don't want to deal with somebody that's like, oh, okay, this is going to remind me of high school again. Like, I don't want to be in high school. I want a grown relationship. It's not like you being picky. You know yourself. So at some point, there's some stuff you just can't work out. You know, you meet somebody and it's just one little quirk that you know, like, I really can't do this because I'm going to be the episode of Snap.
Right.
And I think that's for both. Like, that's for both men and women. There are some stuff that's not going to work. And I don't want women to think like men are being picky. And there's men that are really picky. There are, right? But you got to look at it this way. If there's something that he can deal with or not. And the same thing for ladies. If ladies can't deal with a man with having children, I don't blame ladies. Who wants to deal with a baby mama? I've seen it all the time in my old apartment in Oakland. I've seen some stuff. I was like, and, you know, men with children, I always look at them like, why are you dating? Go back to your baby mama. Especially because she's slicing everybody's tires up this block. She don't know who tire it is. But she know that you here on this street in one of these apartment buildings, so everybody gonna get it.
Single fathers that they need to go back to their moms.
Look, if you up here dating everybody, and you're single, and you're going through women like it's a dime a dozen, and you ghosting them, and you causing more damage than good out here. There are some monsters. Again, there are some monsters out here. They are going out here doing some stuff. The Pookie and Ray Rays out here dating, and there doing some stuff, and it's like we all paying for it. Because if you meet a single dad and you might like him, and he's not good with that single mom or that baby mama that he promised gonna be there forever, then he like got that child or brother and sister because he needs somebody to play with because he ain't got time to babysit them kids. Like you're in trouble, right? Same thing for guys. Like you dealing with a woman who got a baby daddy that want to kill you. Why? Right? There are some stuff out here, and we don't act like we're like, oh, everything is Bridgerton. Like, excuse me, sir. Do you mind that you don't partake in this?
Well, I get what you're saying.
I will give you this thing. I've had some weird happenings, so I will tell you, but I definitely get along with people the best I can. I mean, we do a lot of functions together, like time for me to do events and have, my children's dad there and my partner's there, and sometimes their girlfriends or something, like his girlfriend he's had, they'll be like, well, that's strange. I'm like, why is it strange? These little people ain't for us. So I don't know. It is true though. They be acting up sometimes, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm glad I did not have a car at that time. I'm glad.
I got good spirit. I go to them and say, "Hey, boo, you need some help? I'm out the teamwork. What you need?
No,
you need some
good.
groceries this
I'm not
week?
talking about any particular baby. I'm not talking about any single mom. But there are some stuff out here, and there are some single dads too, and divorced husbands. One time, I made a mistake. I dated a woman. She was in the middle of a divorce. She didn't tell me, and here is a grown man around Lake Merritt crying in front of both of us, and I'm just like, what is this mess? First of all, you didn't tell me that you were married. Oh, we've been separated for 5 years. He still think you guys got a relationship. Why are you not getting divorced? You trying to get me killed. I gotta go. Don't call me no more. So I have to go. Like, no. There are things out here. If all of us could write like 3 stories, we have enough for anthologies for everybody who's single out here. We've gone through it. And everybody else who be thinking it's easy, like, oh yeah, I want to get divorced. I want to go out there and get my groove back. I'm like, go back to your husband, go back to your wife. Don't come out here. Do not come out here. This is not for the weak.
I'll give you that saying. I will, but what you said was the first time for me in terms of looking at the baby daddy and saying, listen, go back to your baby mother. Like, that's the first time hearing that, because I don't usually hear that about men, because I just don't. Yeah. I just don't. And it's
because they're still sleeping with the baby mama. Some of them are. They still sleep with the baby mama. Some of them like, some, not all. But there's others, like, you're still sleeping with the baby mama. You're still close-knit. You guys are talking about, like, if you still getting her pregnant because your child want a brother and sister. So you want them to both have the same parents. Look, I'm not against it. Like, whatever type of family this is, that's great. But for people who are dating you, like, understand for both sides, for men and women, dating somebody with children is not for the weak. It's just not. And also that kid might, for me, I was not, when my parents divorced, my father would tell you I was not nice to none of his girlfriends or wives. I used to call them blankets. Like, why is your blanket talking to me? Why is your blanket talking to me? Come get your rag. Come.
That's so bad.
I was mean. My father would tell you I was mean. I was not nice.
Is my volume good? Am I here? I am here. Yeah, my volume's good. What's up, y'all?
What's up?
Look, man. Look, I gotta give it a little bit of. I won't even say pushback, but I gotta give a little bit of. It's not pushback. Just a little bit of understanding. You know what I mean? To what Stan was saying. I understand that you say people should go back to whoever they with, but I don't completely agree with that. Like, if somebody's being abusive, or whether it's physically, emotionally, or whatever, or if somebody is not willing to deal with a substance abuse problem or mental health problem, then get out of there. I'm not gonna say the F word. Get up out of there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing: nobody wants to be miserable. I've seen family members married for 20, 30, 40 something years, and they should have been got divorced year 2. You know what I'm saying? Look, don't be miserable, people. Okay, and then in any length for the game, you know what I'm saying. You want to make sure that you are fulfilled as a person, that you are completely fulfilled, that you are happy, that you are enjoying whatever you're doing. You know, don't listen to people that say that, oh, who cares about your happiness? You know what I mean? You know, it's like, no, you better care about your happiness. I don't care what stage of life are you in. You know what I mean? If you don't care about your happiness, guess what? You are going to live a miserable life, man. And you only get one life. Here's the thing. I don't understand why people don't think happiness and joy and all those things are important. How are they not important? Like, it's your life. Like, why do you not want to be fulfilled? It's crazy to me. And then the worst thing, hold on, Stan. I want to make this last point. The worst thing is when they throw religion at you. I'll let you cook from there, Stan, because I already know. I'll let you cook from there. Go ahead, brother.
I was gonna say, a lot of times when you talk about your own personal happiness, right, it's always looked at in the scope of you being selfish. Not opposed of the whole family getting together and figuring out, like, how can we support you in this time? Right. Like, no man ever dreams about no man dreams about having a dream job. It's like you under the thumb of another man who living his life and his purpose, and you're always going to work at 4 o'clock in the morning in traffic for 3 hours and all this other stuff. Yes, you're getting paid, but no man dream about doing that for 40 years, right? So if a man comes up and say, I want to go to school, I want to change careers, well, it's like, hey, you're being selfish right now. You're not thinking about this and that and that and this, right? But if you have kids or family, you're supposed to sacrifice for family. You're supposed to sacrifice for the wife. A lot of times, you know, happiness becomes a one-way streak, I think. But I agree with you what you said before too. Yes, don't go back if the person is abusive. But if y'all playing around and y'all playing footsies and y'all still cuddle buddies and y'all like, there's like some baby daddies and baby mamas, y'all very friendly.
Right. You need to go
y'all
back.
Very communicative. Y'all doing sleepovers and not with the kids either. So those are baby mamas and daddies. I'm like, look, guys, if y'all still together, you know, like, go together. It's okay. For the rest of us, let us go ahead and date other people that is free. I want to cuddle too.
You said you want.
Like, I want to cuddle with somebody. Want to cuddle with me. Not no string me around as like your plan B or C or D.
But they don't see it that way because, I mean, I've been seeing a lot of people online saying that they date certain types of people. Meanwhile, they done made it clear they fresh out of a marriage, trying to get a divorce, but talking about who they date. And I'm like, after you come out of a 5-year relationship, you need about a year to decompress. These people would be telling you they just got their divorce 3 months ago, talking about who they looking to date 3 months later. And then whoever dates them don't have the mental capacity to say, this person was married and didn't feel the need to decompress, which means they were in that marriage unhappy, and you know they was contributed to that relationship being the way it was. But you're gonna get involved with them and your relationship is straight. This is the shit I'm talking about. Like, in terms of people, like, really no common sense, like none whatsoever. But let me play this next video.
Oh, hold on, Lola. Hold on. I gotta give you pushback.
Okay.
I gotta put yeah, because I'm an expert in this field. Look, as somebody who's been on all sides of the relationship spectrum, okay? Listen, all right? Sometimes, I'll tell you this. Sometimes if a relationship was married for 5 years, they probably need to be divorced in year maybe 2 or 3, maybe year 1.
I get it.
Okay? What? Now, listen. You know what I'm saying? Once that person gets out of that, year 1, yep. I said it, year 1. And this comes from my vast experience. Stan, you know that I know. You know that I know.
You're one though.
You know that I know. You know what I'm saying? You know that I've seen things because I've sat in different groups, and you know what groups I'm talking about. I've sat in different groups and I've heard different stories. Year one, yes. Okay. Now, Stan, you know there's things I know that you don't know. You know that, and you know where I know it from. Yeah. So Stan knows me personally. That's why he knows what I'm saying is true. Listen, okay. By the time they get out of that thing, they are free. They are happy. Okay. They are so happy to get away from this person that they are running they are running to something that is good and that treats them well, because that person has probably done damaged them so much. They're like, yo, I'm just glad to get out of this, yo. So yeah, within 3 months, yeah, of course they're gonna be looking for somebody else. Of course, you know what I mean. They know what type of person they're looking for, and especially once you done play the game on all levels. That's literally playing the game on all levels. You know what I mean? Single, dating, engaged, married, divorced. That's all 5 levels. All right. Once you have done all 5 levels, you know what I'm saying, you have an understanding of who you are completely, of who you are, what you're looking for in a relationship completely. You know what I mean? Unless there are certain people, like you said, that are damaged or abused or whatever. Yes, in any circumstance, even if somebody was dating and damaged and abused, I agree that they should take time, to decompress. Because you have dating relationships that are toxic too, right? Where a person's getting abused and beat on and disrespected and all types of stuff. Right. You know what I mean? That person may be doing things based on mental health issues or based on substance abuse. So I totally get that. Yes. But if this is just a relationship, because if this is a relationship where that person and the other person mutually agree to separate, whatever the circumstance is, yeah, within 3 months probably, sometime within 6 months to a year, yeah, they're gonna want to do something different, because now they know what they're looking for. Now they know exactly what you're looking for.
I get that was the best, but I'm gonna be honest with you, those people like that are few and far in between. Usually.
But Lola, you don't know that.
No.
You've never been through all 5 stages.
No, I'm just saying statistically, right? Statistically, but when you look at people that get married, get divorced, people that get in relationships and can't keep relationships, statistically, we're dealing with more people that are sociological psychopaths in terms of.
Hold on, where the statistics, Lola? Where the statistics, Lola? Where the statistics?
People are getting married, let alone to get. How many people? It's not.
I gotta mess with Lola tonight.
Even getting married, period, to get a divorce. Like, we can't even sit here and talk about divorces because the marriage rates are too low for us to really care about that. And then when you talk about offline relationships, right, in our own personal walk, we don't know anybody that is having.
M3, put me at the bottom. Thank you, sir.
Like, that's not what we know.
That's right. You go up top, M3. M3, you gotta go up top, dog. You're M3.
I don't agree that when people say, well, I just got divorced, now suddenly they're ready to be in another relationship. It's like, even if you was abused, like, nah, you just like, I don't. Who can?
I'm telling you what from what I know, Lola, and M3 will probably tell you some stuff too. Listen, once you've been through those things, and once you know the stuff that we know, listen, it's a whole different ball game. But I won't speak for M3. I'll let M3 speak for himself. You know what I mean? Let me pipe down. M3, you muted. You muted too, bro.
Are not out there. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the majority of people there that we talking about, they not cut from that cloth.
Okay, I missed the last part of what you guys were talking about.
I do agree. Well, I was just gonna agree with Kama Lola. If you know what you want and what you're looking for, you still have to just reflect. Even how it takes, I don't know. Reflect. You're wrong, because even if someone's mentally abusing you, now you want to make sure you're healing from that and not being triggered by things on accident from a new partner, because now you have to make sure you recognize that, oh, he did that reminded me of something. I don't want to be triggered. So you have to learn how to deal with those emotions. I do think you need to self-evaluate regardless if you know what you want or not. You still need to know that there was something wrong and where you went wrong, and kind of evaluate that and kind of make sure that stress or triggers on other people on accident. side. You need to take a moment to evaluate yourself. How you think you can handle it, but you should look at yourself.
Right. I got this other video that I want to play that Stan sent me. I'll share my screen and we can watch it. Give me a second.
No problem. Miss Polly, just want to let you know, you're going in and out. Like your connection is kind of choppy, just to let you know.
All right, here we go.
Don't understand today's dating world. I take girls on nice dates. I get them flowers. I'm emotionally available. I go to the gym. It doesn't matter what I do. And yet every time I get the same outcome. I constantly get ghosted. I'm not feeling it. I'm not ready for a relationship, yet they get in one a week later. And then to top it off, I get, you're too nice of a guy. Like, what the fuck do you want from me? Oh, and that's not even the worst. What is up with everyone thinking they're on The Bachelor? Like, people are talking to 10 people, and I can't even get hugged.
Well, if the guys ever watching this video, air hug and a pat on back. Let me tell you this though about this guy, right? Okay. See, the reason why he's getting played like the way he's getting played, okay, according to the law of nature, is because he is doing everything right, but for the wrong person. See, the thing is, he's one of those type of men, and we've all been through this before, so we can't look down on nobody. We all been in a stage where we come to the woman for advice for other women, to attain other women. And what do our women do? Do you think they give us the best advice that would help us to understand women?
Nope.
Every advice that they gave us was always the opposite. And because it was always the opposite, we was always repelling as opposed to attracting. Okay? If you understand the laws of attraction and laws of power of things, right, you will know and understand that women don't know what the fuck they want. Okay? And a lot of times you can't get advice from a whole bunch of women. You could probably get some type of advice from certain women, you know, of class. The ones that's going to probably keep it real with you a little bit. But still, you need to get the advice right for someone who has experience, you know, with women. And I'm talking about the experience of networking, socialization, okay, proper greeting, and being all the ins and outs of physical and mental intimacy, okay? You got to talk to a man, right, that can help teach you how to be a man, because that teaching, that lesson will help teach you not to be like that guy and take women, the wrong women, seriously, okay? And that's the problem. A lot of men keep doing the same type of loop because other men are not really stepping up to the plate, or maybe they're giving them advice, but because society is always telling them that getting advice from a man is wrong, listening to a man that's toxic masculinity, acting in a certain way that puts you in your masculine state is always toxic masculinity. And you fall into the Disney narrative of all these other simpy people that keep doing all these chivalrous things to women who don't appreciate the chivalry.
Well, M3, don't you think that to a degree it's been ingrained in men that they should want all women that they can have access to? Meanwhile, somewhere along the line, they're looking for, like this gentleman, they're looking to be taken seriously by somebody, but at the same time, as it went back to what Stan was saying, they're being eroded emotionally. Because like this guy said, I'm emotionally available. And it's like, based on what metric system are you emotionally available? It's like you're basically trying to, like you said, appeal to everybody but the right person, which tells me there's something still kind of off within you. So it's like, well, okay. You can tell yourself that you're emotionally available and that everything that you're coming to the table clean. When in reality, who can really tell that you're clean coming to the table? And you're not. I mean, you're not. You're looking for something serious out of everybody who isn't serious. Meanwhile, the people that would take him serious, he ain't interested in that. But again, we talk about, like, the name of that video was the difference between fuckboys. This dude is probably a fuckboy himself. Talking about, you know, I'm doing everything, what's wrong? And then you notice he said one girl was like, listen, I'm just not feeling this. It's not that he did anything. She's just picking up on his energy. And she like, yo, something's off. And it's like, well, what's wrong with his energy? I mean, that happens. But again, he's saying, he's telling on himself to a degree. He's telling on himself. He's saying that he's doing everything right. Meanwhile, all he referencing are females that most men know you don't take on dates. You don't take them nowhere. That's not what you do. So,
two things I'm gonna say. Two things I'm just gonna say, right? One, okay, he's a fucked up boy. That's his problem.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And then two, he's in his feminine energy, which it draws a red flag for a woman. And the reason why I'm saying he's in his feminine energy is because he is too concentrated, heavily concentrated in seeking the approval. Mm-hmm. He's chasing. By nature, I mean, look, I get it. Like, people will disagree otherwise, but I won't even say women are supposed to chase and whatever. Whoever possesses the most value is the one that's going to be chased after. Whoever has the lowest value are going to be the ones that's going to be in a position where they're going to have to hunt.
Mm. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
The dateables.
I'll say.
That's the dateables. That's the dateables.
Yeah, he's dateable. He's dateable, but nothing else.
That's the dateable. Yeah, but not mateable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go ahead, Mr.
I'll say this. Mm-hmm. I'll say this. I think when it comes to getting advice, you want to get advice from and I mean, you know, in his situation, he may be frustrated, he may have chose wrongly, and he may just need people that are there to help him. But when it comes to getting advice, you want to get advice from men and women both who are like M3 was saying, experienced. So you want to find possibly maybe like a married couple, you know what I mean, who you can trust. That'll work. Or you can find, you know, older men and women who have kind of been through certain things, they know certain things, and they can kind of help you. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's the best advice that you can possibly get. Or you can have people who, they're in relationships or they're in marriages, and they may not be older, but they've actually just have a lot of experience, and they can actually help you to kind of follow or kind of figure things out. Because you're gonna need both. You're gonna need a male's perspective and a woman's perspective to fully be able to be out here and do what you need to do, and fully, understand the natures of both men and women. You know what I'm saying? Because there's certain things that women can key on when it comes to other women, and there's certain things that men can key on when it comes to certain women. So if you have a combination of both, you will not be led astray. I'm telling you. Find you a old school married couple, or or maybe a dating couple or whatever who have experience, and man, that'll help you out in a long way. I'm telling you. Shout out to Hunter Watch, man. Hunter Watch, what up?
You good, Mr. Intellectual SoapBox?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. I want to add something to it. Like, the best advice I got, or like a woman that was able to see what I was going through, was somebody from the outside that could look into it, which helped me make that decision. I need to break up with this young lady. The woman could look, and how this woman was treating me, she said she don't respect you. Right? And she explained what she was seeing. And she's like, yeah, you're doing everything right, but she don't respect you. So what do you do when you're not respected? I'm like, yeah, I pull out. Like, I'm done. I cut you off. Like, you don't matter. A week later, I had to do that. Now, when I did that, it shook this person up because then she had to realize like, oh, I gotta like, I gotta do something now. Now for me, I like once I cut you out, I cut you out. There's no for me to even go back. Like you disrespectful, you only get one time, you're gone. And it's not being unforgiveness or anything like that. It's like you gotta learn that. You gotta learn that life skill. A lot of times, like people don't understand, like you break up with somebody, it's not to show power. Sometimes you gotta break up with them because they need to learn something about themselves. Like not everybody is built like this, and you can't treat people like dirt. Because you've gone through so much, and because, oh, he's a social worker and he should be able to accept me for who I am. You know, I'm very good now. One of my boundaries, I let people know, like, if you know my field of work, please understand, like, I don't date my field of work. If I'm doing social work, I don't do social work when I go out and date. I need you to take care of yourself mentally while I take care of myself mentally. And so for us to be interdependent together. If we can't do that, then guess what? It's okay for us to break up and it's gonna be fine. You got work you gotta do, and there's work that I'm doing, I'm continuing to do. A lot of times I think like when dating happens, people don't wanna do the work, or they're still stuck on something they had like 5 or 10 or 20 years ago. But you've grown as a person and you're not looking at yourself in the lens of somebody that's growing and developing to someone else. And so your needs have changed. So while you constantly, my only concern with dating, right? People are constantly going out, but people are not really, they're not really being authentic, and they're not giving themselves a chance to like, hey, who am I when I'm with this person? The questions you gotta ask. How can I make this person better? Like, how does this person make me feel? Like, how does this fit in my life? These are like legitimate questions when you go out. But I don't think that people are there right now. It's like people want to go out for the food and they want to take pictures. You know, we got the foodie calls. You only date for the food. Now for the nice guys, yeah, I understand. Like, you nice. And maybe this might be another show. I've seen a lot of guys, you know, we always say like men date their mothers. I begin to see that now more and more. It's like they're rescuing their mothers. Like whatever pain that their father calls that, you know, calls their moms, I see it when they go ahead and they accept mess from other women, or they go on, they date a person. And I'm like, I'm seeing that and I'm like, wow, that's, man, you got some soul searching you got to do, because this woman is not your mom. And you put so much on her because you did something for her, and you're expecting unconditional love as though this is your mother. It just doesn't work. Maybe that should be another topic. Anybody else think that's so? Please add on below.
So the problem is like with today's, like, you know, world dating, you have a lot of encouragement to swipe left and to swipe right, meaning that you have no time to lose. Everyone is not impatient when it comes to try to go to the first stage. And the first stage of it is friendship building. Everyone wants to have the most of things in life, but they want to put out the least. And you get the results from that. And you won't automatically get disappointed because you have high expectations, but then you have a low output rate, meaning that you still don't want to give. And you have to look at that. The less that you pull out, the less is that you will receive. You know, it's just simple, common, spiritual type of belief. People believe in karma, people believe in Allah, God, whatever. But mostly, I would definitely say that people believe in a return of something that they put out. So unfortunately, in the dating world, everyone has pretty much been hurt and burnt so many times. They just don't want to put the energy out into it, and they just want to have excuses. But the main core problem is that you don't want to invest in a friendship, because if you invest in a friendship, then you'll get heavily attached, and if the return is not what you like, then you will be severely broken-hearted. And people are trying to avoid their feelings when it comes to that. But it's inevitable. You know, you're still damaging yourself because you're not going to really get the quality of woman if that's what you're looking for. Because a lot of people always say, I want this certain type of woman, I want this certain type of man. But are you sure that deep in your heart, are you ready to go through these challenges and to put up with the mess and to try to work things out? I think Lola got disconnected, but she'll be back. Okay. So if you're not willing to put that work into the friendship, then why are you even trying to date? I mean, everybody want to date, for a fling, but if you're trying to date with intention and a purpose, then you need to go through the friendship process. I know we hear a lot of people that bash on two things. Mm-hmm. If you're a woman's friend, you are in the friend zone, and you need to cut that friendship off because men and women can't be friends. And two, okay, if you're married, you're just a goddamn simp, you know, because you're in the so-called scarcity mindset that you don't believe in your heart that you could try to get as many women as you can based on your level of security as a man.
But you're married. Marriage is like, marriage means something else.
Mm-hmm. But, you know, other man will say otherwise, you know?
Yeah, and also like the advice that's out there, man, you gotta weed some of that stuff out. I know people talk about like the high value man, but I remember someone brought up to my attention the value system, the high value system, and that was like, okay, that's more like me. Like we could get so lost in so many definitions and doctrines that you don't know what to do and what to take. I want to encourage people to like look at it, don't follow it, don't be mindless drones, and study it and see if there's something that applies for you. If it don't, you move on. I agree with you. A lot of times, the friendship stuff is hard for a lot of people because here you are, somebody's friend, and you've been intimate, and not sexually when I mean intimate. You've been opening your heart. You've been sharing stuff. You have a tradition, and then you find somebody mm-hmm. that's like, okay, maybe might go next level, but you know, she found somebody else, or you found somebody else. Now this person feel like, oh man, I've been used. I've been waiting, and this is not fair. But I always tell people like, man, like a lot of times your ex leads you to your next. It's like these little soul steps mm-hmm. that take you to the next person. You have to like, each relationship is a growing level. Like Super Mario Brothers, you never stay on level 1, right? Mm-hmm. You go out and you never stay on level 10. And Mario Brothers games is kind of like, it reminds me of One Piece. Like, man, we got more. Mm-hmm. There's no end. You know what I'm saying? I'm at 355. Like, oh my goodness, how many levels we got?
Yeah, I feel you.
So, like, I always tell people, like, with the dating, you do have to go out. You have to go out. And I'm so sorry you don't feel like you're appreciated. But I do remember there was like this one coworker of mine who gave me a different perspective. And I used to have this ex-girlfriend. She broke up with me, right? Mm-hmm. Had an ex-girlfriend. She broke up with me, and I can't stand her for nothing. But this ex-girlfriend of mine from college used to tell everybody I was the best boyfriend she ever had. All this stuff, right? And I just never understood it, right? Like, why would you tell that when you broke up with me, right? And then my coworker told me, like, cuz Stanley, that's the truth. You were the best boyfriend she ever had. And I was just telling her, like, why is she dating guys that look like me instead of come back to the original? I don't know if you guys ever had that experience. You break up with somebody and they dating your lookalikes. It's like, why are you dating the copy? Come back to the original. Come over here. but she told me like, yeah, you started a standard, and that's something she lived by. Now she got married, and I'm happy for her. And I'm like, yeah, you just learn. Miss Polly, welcome back. How you doing, Miss Polly? You there?
I think
Is she frozen again? She frozen again?
I think she is frozen.
Oh man.
Hold on. It'll recalibrate.
Okay.
Unfortunately, like
okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay. She's back.
What's up?
Hi, I don't know. I've been struggling with this connection for like 2 months. I don't know, but I apologize. That's all me. I think it's me at least.
No problem. No problem. So, what's your thoughts about tonight? Discussion.
I think it's a good discussion. I mean, I guess the only real kind of advice I would give, which I do give out, is when you're going to go, so you need to like really structure out like what you want, what do you need, and what you can give. And that's important because you want to be able to obviously receive things that you want, but you want to be able to give some things, and you want to be able to also know the difference between wanting and need something, because you could want something in a person, they may not have it, but it's not going to kill you if you don't get it. You'll be okay. So if you can know, okay, hey, they're not perfect, not everybody's perfect, and you're like, that's okay, you know, they do have a flaw, they might need to work on that particular flaw, but it's not something that is going to like in our relationship. And I think if people can separate those things and know what they are, that'll help them find someone for them. Because there's things about some of my partners, you know, I like. I did some things like it doesn't matter to me that much, but you know, it's not what I wanted it to be, but it is what it is. It's not like I'm gonna die. You know what I'm saying? Like I've dated somebody that I like men who have children, and that's because I have children, and I like to have that interaction. I like to be able to part of my life, and I like to interact with them and talk to them, and they'll understand if I can't make it. They know what it's like to, you know, be running out of money on Christmas. Like they get that. And so if I do date men who don't have children, which I do sometimes, something that I don't prefer, but it's not going to be it's not going to be like, oh, I can't date you because you don't have any children. It's just I prefer it, but if that is what it is what it is. So I think if you get what you want, what you need, and you know what you can give, I think you figure that out. It's a good combination to find out who you can be with, and what you can give is very important. I think people forget that too. What you can give a person, you need to know that. Like you need to know what I can't give you. Like if I know that I'm not big on, I use myself as an example because I kind of think of some things that I know, but like I don't. Like I said, I'm not heavy on heavy time. I'm not going to give you that up under you girlfriend feel. If you need that, you have no business with me. If you need a girl to check on you because it makes you feel confident, if you need somebody to be up on your ass all day, check all that because it makes you feel like they care, I'm going to disappoint you and upset you. Probably shit. And and that's okay. And I think people like feel bad for, oh, you don't meet that requirement for me, I don't work out. No, it's being responsible and saying this characteristic that you like, I can't give it to you. I can fake it, but it's not going to last long term. So I think you figure out those main three things about yourself, do a little self-evaluation, and then you go out in the market. I'm thinking you're going to find a lot more opportunities to find people you're going to be long term, if that's what you want, of course.
Yes. Yes, thank you.
Course.
Thank you
Some
so
people
much.
don't want that. Yeah.
I like that, Miss Polly. Well spoken, well said. I'll say it like that. I gotta do a quick check on Miss Miss Lola. Lola, can you hear us?
I can hear you guys now. My computer was like, "No, today ain't my day. I'm done."
That's okay. Mine had to restart too. And restarted too. It was stupid.
Yeah, I'm like, what is going on here? At first, I thought it was the YouTube police.
Oh, like Lola's about to get canceled, huh?
Oh my God, no! Like,
Yeah. Shout out to DJ Eddie Kane for the music, misunderstood. Yeah. No feet massages there.
Oh, well, I do have a question for y'all because I think this is interesting because you guys are a little bit different than me. So, I am in the dating realm still. I have been trying to talk to a few gentlemen.
Okay.
Possibly.
Wait, a few more gentlemen, you say?
I say, no, like I've been trying to go on dates, and I usually have 3, but I haven't had 3 in a very long time. My partners are really, I'm gonna say, acting out for a while. So now I think the storm has calmed. And I think that I would like to. What I mean by that is they sometimes they're not in the right. I don't feel like we're in the right place. There was a lot of transition with us getting closer together, and me adding someone else would cause too much chaos. So I didn't do it for a little bit. So now I'm kind of back and talking to a few gentlemen, but I've been using some apps. Okay, so I use like Facebook dating, BLK. Those are the 2 I usually use. But when you're on there, do you feel like when someone has friends with benefits and then they have like possible relationship, when you have a person on there indicating they want to be friends with benefits, do you think that's a no-go for anyone who's out in the dating realm? Like when they start seeing these apps and stuff, are people go about their way? How do you feel about the dating apps and how they're advertising dating?
Okay, so dating apps are like it's kind of like a checklist, right? I like to meet people in person. That's me. I understand the purpose of dating apps. Why I don't care for dating apps because I can see where you just have a pen pal because it's so, for me, I'm empathic. It becomes so flat, right? Like you send a response. I'm learning like you only send like 5 words tops. Don't be sending a long story. Then you go back and forth. Okay. And then you meet each other on social media, so you could go ahead and talk on the phone because you don't exchange numbers. Because you don't know this person gonna send spam and try and get into your phone and break into your apps. So it becomes like this whole thing with dating apps, right? And safety, right?
Oh God.
Right. Right. So like whatever the person put on, right? If they say like they're only seeking friends, like it's really up to both of you guys. It could change. It's not really set in stone. I see that when some people, they nitpick. When a person like, well, I want to be in a relationship and they change it, well, that's what I signed up for. I signed up for just friends. A lot of times things happen, like the friendship between the 2 of you guys change. Now they want to take a little step further. They want to, or they traveling for work. Now they want to meet up with people for a possible date, or they're in your town and they want to meet with you. I think like there's a chance for flexibilities because with dating apps, I hope people understand the end result of the dating app is that you meet and you date.
Okay. I know when you was asking us a question, I know you was kind of going in and out, and I do hear an echo too. But let me make sure like I understand, right? So the advice, so you're looking for advice about like dating apps because now you're into dating again. Am I correct, Miss Polly?
Well, I just want to know what your view is on the dating app because I've been using the dating apps personally. I found one of my partners on a dating app. So, well, actually, I found both on the dating app because I stream on one. It's called Tag. Mm-hmm. I stream on that, and I met him through that. He got in my little box and was talking to me, and then he said he lived near me, and then he said he met me in person. So he had been watching me. So I usually tell guys too, like when they read my profile, I say, if you want to get to know me, go in my live so you can person, and if you're interested, then you can talk to me, privately if you'd like to. So it gives an opportunity to get to know me.
Like you on live all the time. And that's what Tag is.
I can, yeah. It's a dating app, but you can go live on it, so you can live stream on it.
Oh, wow.
I go live on that app, and it's connected to BLK too, and they can go talk to me, and I give free advice out. So that's how a lot of men come in there, and they'll give me their opinions. A lot of people they can say whatever they want, and that's just how that kind of conversation starts. But I've been approached through that app for dating, and but I do find there's a lot of ghosting, or like there's a lot of hey, let's meet, and they're trying to meet. I think I don't know with that, but I kind of here and there date ongoing. I'll like date here and there spotty a little bit.
Yeah, I think like a lot of people are just scared.
Not a whole thing.
I think a lot of people are scared. Like the anxiety of approaching people is like I forgot what someone told me. Is like to approach somebody and to talk to somebody is a lost art. Awful cuff. It's just really like it's a lost art form.
Yeah, let me add on to this part. It's and I also want to welcome Queen Forever 2K in the building too, right? So you know, the problem.
The topic, Smokey.
Oh, wait a minute. On for a second, everybody.
Smokey tonight. That's right. Give me my round of applause.
All right. Thank you, Queen. But here's the thing, like I don't really like the use of dating apps. I mean, I don't need to worry about dating apps for my status, but if I were to use it, to me, I will, prefer like just approaching people. I think it's better off by like just like meeting guys like in person. And I feel like, especially with the lifestyle that you live, like that you're doing right now, Miss Polly, I think like you'll have a higher chance of finding someone that may, join or may have a connection with you, to be a part of the lifestyle, as opposed to like just doing like the online dating stuff.
I don't like the online dating that much because I feel like everybody's out to try to it's more of a like hook up and quit it situation, so I don't like it. It's easy for me to vet out those people. It just seems like it's a waste of time. But I have, like I said, I found both my partners that way, so I can't say it's a absolute no. But I would say that the live made it a lot different. The live, like basically, that made a lot of difference because then you're able to interact with me, and I don't do it as much now, but I used to do like on a daily basis, and they could come see me every day. So every day between a certain amount of time, I would be able to interact with maybe several people, and then they would maybe like try to ask to talk to me outside of that realm. So it was like got to get to know me. If they wanted to ask questions, be quiet, so then they would have to be like pointed out. If they were just interested, they could just view. I do like that, but I don't know. I don't want to give up on the apps because I kind of I don't know. People don't. I'm a real person, but a lot. I don't know. No one really approaches me. Maybe I'm.
No, apps are big. Apps are big business. Apps, especially for people of color, we're really pushing the apps. Like we're the main user for apps. The apps is not going anywhere. The numbers increase, and it's like you got to know what you're covered with. Like Tag is something like I never heard of before. Like I definitely will check that out because that's unique. Because to go on live stream and actually meet people just for that. That's unique, and that's a good way of like actually meeting people. I'm like, okay,
lovely lady, great conversation.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
That realm is very interesting.
I think that's the whole thing of. Now I'm about to age us real quick on this platform. You guys remember AOL?
Oh hell no!
Remember AOL? Remember them chat rooms?
Listen, I'm saying that over MySpace, okay?
Oh, remember MySpace? MySpace was making us all like graphic designers.
Right. I remember
that. Man, tell me about it.
Have you ever?
That's where I built my
went back
graphic
to my
design
MySpace page like 2 weeks ago.
Is it still up? Oh my Lord!
Yeah. Oh, Justin
Timberlake
took over it.
Remember Black Planet?
Justin Timberlake? Yo, I remember Black Planet.
Justin Timberlake bought my
person.
Oh, what? Okay.
So they kicked Tom out. Tom's not on MySpace no more. They kicked Tom out. Tom is no longer in MySpace. Tom is gone.
Oh my God!
Remember Tom that guy that was like this. But I mean, like all that. Like I'm just saying all that, and I also remember Black Planet when Black people was meeting other Black people all over diaspora.
Yeah.
But I think with Black Planet, you gotta have some. You have to like pay some type of membership or whatever. From what I remember.
Free.
At first,
No, some of these girls wasn't free. You know, from my experience, I really think you had to pay something. I can't remember, but it was like to get to know the person or something. You had to pay some type of fee. I think that was Black Planet.
Oh wow. Well, I remember like those were like a bootleg.
Back further than that. You remember the demos when you had to leave a message?
Oh.
And someone wanted to talk to you, they had to listen to the message.
Oh yeah.
You said you talking about the phone line?
Like the phone calls.
And you would call and you'd be like, oh, you listen to the message, they're like, hey, I'm this, and to the message.
Yeah,
I think I remember.
Y'all don't remember that?
I remember that.
I think it's called like the party line, right? Or hotline.
It was like almost like a party line. Like you only have like so many free calls a day.
I remember the name. I remember I did it one time.
But yeah, I'm just only saying this because like we all been
you don't even know what the person look like. You leave messages.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, we all been caught up in like technology. Like we've been on it. Like we just, you know, I remember I had one of my friends. He had a smart mouth. You guys think I got a mouth. My friend got a mouth. So like on a Friday night, you know, those happy hour. So I grew up in San Francisco. He'll meet a girl, and she's like, "Oh, you're not my type." And he's like, "Yeah, I'll be your type Sunday night on Craigslist." So I'm like, I was like, "What?"
Oh man.
I was like, "Oh my Lord."
I feel like this is getting like after,
like, you know, it just evolved, and because it evolved so much, I remember like the chat rooms at AOL. People used to fly around on cheap tickets to meet each other.
Jump in for once.
You know, or remember AOL the movie Seattle, whatever it's called, You Got Mail.
These are not
right? But I think that's that's the whole thing. I think like we were hoping to find somebody and like, you know, you find your connection because it's kind of hard to find your connection in day to day.
All right, before I say anything, hold on. I got to check in with Queen real quick because Queen didn't get a chance to say anything.
Queen.
What's up, Queen?
What's up?
All right, I know you listen to like a whole bunch of shenanigans though, but what's your thoughts?
Hey, you know, you can do that, date. Do you know whatever suits float your boat? I'm sticking with Lola on my boo part 1. You know, whatever you do to float your boat, do it. I ain't swiping left. I ain't got to do that. I'm so thankful to God I ain't in that.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't do it. If I had to, I need to see you. I need to see how you walk, how you talk, how you interact in the street. And you swiping left don't mean shit because you could be something else. So yeah, I'm cool.
But what if he's nice but he walks with a limp?
Huh?
Shut up, Smokey. Ain't nobody listening to you. What are you talking about? Then
you
he
know
would
what's
be walking
scary?
with a limp past me. It depends. I don't discriminate. You know what I mean? You know, he can have a limp. I can have a limp one day. You know.
Hey, Queen.
I had a boot. I had a boot.
Queen, I got a question for you.
I was walking with more than a limp. You know. So, it's all good.
Hey, Queen, I got a question for you.
What's up?
Have you ever seen on Netflix that series You?
Huh?
The series on Netflix, You.
Oh, that show is, yo, that show is cray to the infinitive. It is just, yeah, I mean, that's how it happens. You got to really be careful. You know, but he showed the signs of being creepy. He showed it from the beginning. He inserted
himself in their lives. I was like, man, this is...
No, but I'm just saying, like, the first approach, he was creepy. I got creep vibe from day one, from the moment he said hello. It was creepy. It was nothing authentic. It was weird. It was, you know, I'm cool.
Miss Polly, have you ever heard of You before?
Who?
Miss Polly, have you ever heard of You? You know, Miss O'Shea?
On Netflix?
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, Queen, go ahead. Give her the brief.
A stalker.
Yeah, I don't watch it, but I know about it.
He's not just a stalker. Like, he's not a stalker.
He's beyond a stalker.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna give it away, but that'll change your whole mind of meeting someone in the street, on the internet, on the phone, on the bus, on the plane. You be like, I'm just cool by myself.
Oh yeah.
He would scare you from dating, period.
Cause you be like, that's not you, Beth. Not you, Beth. Why you pick him? Of all the people in the world. You read these books, you read shows. No, he just goes in and you just had a cheap bottle of wine. And now you're throwing yourself right back to him after he slept with your best friend. I'll be like, how you know all this stuff?
Yeah.
It's a really good series.
Salute.
He's trying to catch you up.
What up, Razik? Salute.
What's up, Razik?
Yo, what's the word?
Nothing much, man. The word is pretty much. Well, actually, Stan, I'll let you tell it.
All right, we are going through some video response. I don't think we can do that now. Can we, Miss O'Shea?
Yes. Well, no, because I'm on my...
Hold on, y'all. Queen, were you done with your statement?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Yeah, y'all.
Yeah, I'm cool.
I was saying that to Stan. I was saying that I can't do it because I'm streaming from my phone, so I don't have access.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have a computer, so well, look. At least you got something, some content.
Right.
And I know it's
so right now we're
close
talking
to,
about like dating apps.
I
Like
have a
which one
question,
do you use?
if y'all don't mind. If y'all have, unless you got something going, I'm sorry.
Wait, who had the question? Oh, was it Miss Polly?
Well, I'm saying I had an interesting because I was live today and I had a gentleman come and ask me something very interesting. It's a little sexual and I apologize, but it was kind of, it was just kind of open to me, like it's just weird to me. So he said he told me, he said nowadays when you go out with women, you don't know who they've been with and things like that. And he's like, since you're just dating them and you're not committed to them, they're available to be with other people. So he said, when I'm on for the first week or something, they just pull over something. He's like, if we are going to do something sexual, it will never be oral. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. And he said, well, another gentleman came in and said, no, I would. He said, I would, because it's commonly known that the person's probably been with somebody else because they're openly dating. So you're probably already doing it anyway. So why does it matter? So they kind of got a debate over, is oral we're dating situation, or is that okay to do oral when you're still in the dating phase and you're just being sexual?
I don't think it really matters. It's based on your own choices. If you and your partner are,
You don't know where she person was. He's like, you don't know if she was with somebody else or somebody just had sex with her the day before. He's like, I just felt comfortable with it. And the other guy was like, but there's lots of guys out here who have sex with women when they have men. They have boyfriends. Isn't that the same difference?
Hold on. Actually, this would be like a good question for Razik to answer. Razik, you wanna give your perspective?
Yeah, answer that.
Man, y'all, look, you already know how dangerous I am. At the snap of a moment, I'm prepared to get kicked off because I know.
Man, if you share your views, man.
Bruh. All right, so. All right, well, y'all asked for it. Before I go in, ask that one more time. Just so I'm clear. Hello?
Hold on.
Miss Papa, you're muted.
I'm sorry, I had to unmute it. I apologize. I said, well, listen, is it okay for you to have oral with someone that you are not committed to yet, when you're just dating, or to a person that has someone else probably met with? Is it okay?
Oh yeah,
that's more of a.
Yeah, that's easy to answer. Yeah, I'm not eating your pussy, and if I'm dating a girl, I expect you to suck this dick. Yeah. And if you're not sucking my dick, I'm gonna find somebody else who will. End the story. I mean, it really don't get no more clear than that.
What about the ladies? You gonna eat some?
No. Only pussy I'm eating is the only pussy I'm eating.
Hey, I'm openly dating
the only pussy I'm eating. The only pussy I'm eating is the woman that I am married to. I'm gonna repeat this again. The only girl's pussy who I'm eating is the girl who I'm married to. If I'm dating, I expect whatever bitch it is to suck this dick. If you don't want to suck this dick, I'm gonna find somebody else who will. End of story.
He answered it.
Hey, you asked the question. He gave the answer.
I have no. I thought it was laughing.
That's why I had to give out a warning. I had to give out a warning because hey, be careful what you ask. When I'm on this motherfucker, be careful what you ask for because I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit.
You're not eating right now. You're not eating box right now. Is that what you're telling me?
I just said, and I'm going to repeat it for the people in the back. I answered. I don't know if you heard it. I answered it. Was anybody did anybody else pay attention to what I just said? I said the only. I'm going to repeat it slowly.
She said she don't know. She don't know if you married.
I'm going. Okay, I'm not.
Yeah.
But I'm going to repeat. So just to be clear, the only girl pussy, the only girl's pussy who I'm eating is the woman that I'm married to. Yes, I eat, you know what I'm saying, pussy. Have I ate it in the past? Yes. Do I enjoy it? Yes. But the only girl's pussy that I'm eating is the woman that I'm married to. Now, when it comes to me getting head, I expect every bitch to suck my dick. They like it. So, I mean, hell, you don't have to suck my dick, but it is a requirement. Now, if you don't, I'm going to leave and find somebody else who's more than willing to complete the job.
Okay, Razi. Now I gotta ask you these questions, right, to follow up on that, right? Because this is gonna be entertaining.
Hold on. Allow Miss Polly to react. Let her react.
Yeah.
I want to hear what you got to say. Let her react.
Oh no, I don't have a reaction really. I mean, like you said, I just think that since you clarified that, I mean, you're just basically saying you're monogamous. So okay. I mean, or you probably just get head from other women who aren't your wife. Possibly.
Yes.
I don't know.
That is correct. Yes. Yes. I get head from plenty of other women. Yes.
All right. So let me get to this, right?
I had to take get it all.
Wait, were you surprised at his like reaction to it?
Huh.
I mean, not reaction, but his reply. Were you surprised, Miss Polly? It's a little King of Kings.
I'm not surprised. I just was trying to clarify if he was saying that he gets head even though he's married from other, won't eat any other women.
No, that's not.
Wife. So in turn, he does.
No, that's not what I said. I don't know. Am I speaking Spanish?
I'm Polly, so I'm open.
Okay, hold on. I got this. Hold on.
I gotta ask.
Because like Miss Polly's into the poly lifestyle. Basically, what she's just trying to ask is that okay, is your style monogamous or polygamous or poly, whatever? But you already answered that question or whatever. He's more into his own lifestyle. You know what I mean? The monogamous route. But however, if you're dating, right? I mean, anything goes, basically. It's just that once you're married to a certain woman, that's where you'll be open to be the person to lick that thing or whatever. But until then, you can't trust all these people because you don't know what's been up in there.
I mean, I can be more specific. You know what I mean?
Go ahead, Rossi.
I mean, well, I'm gonna just say this. I don't believe in monogamy, and I'm not in poly or whatever. I just pretty much do a A to B to C thing. In other words, saying I'm not in a relationship. You know what I mean? So therefore, if I'm just you're looking for sex, yes, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get whatever it is that I want out of the deal. Now, for the confines of marriage, I'm very static. So the chick that I will marry, she's going to follow and obey, whatever it is that I tell her to, do because of who I am. Now, if I happen to, to get some head outside of my marriage, she ain't gonna ever know. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this: if she steps out of the marriage, it's over with. It's a wrap. But again, that's just the double standard that it is. So I'm able to do what the fuck I'm able to do, and you can either abide by my rules or you can go somewhere else. That's it. Like I don't negotiate with other women. You're gonna either listen and you're gonna follow and obey, or you can find you some other sucker. You know what I mean? And maneuver however you gonna maneuver. I will always be able to find somebody else. So
hold on, Razik. Hold on. We gotta give salute to Stan. Stan, I know you got a roll, bro. Also salute the Kings and Dreams. What up, brother? Good to see you on here. Also, Marcus, we see you in the building. Lola, I seen you came off mute for a second. Is there anything that you would like to share before M3 goes into his questions with Razi? Because it seems like he has more than one question. So, Lola, did you have anything to say?
No, I'm just listening.
You just listening? Okay, all right. Go ahead.
No, my question is short, anyways, because I mean, I get the logistics of Razi, but just for like the funness of the stream. All right. Well, I get it, right? It's kind of like your way or the highway type of thing. Okay. So basically, this is just for the viewers. I understand. Just keep that in mind, Razi. But for the viewers that may not still understand, you know what I mean? If you have those demands, right? Any woman, okay, I'm not talking about marriage or whatever, right? The requirement is they gotta suck your dick, and they gotta make sure they know how to swallow it good, okay? But however, if they ask you, well, how come you want me to do this for you, but you can't even do that for me? What would be your verbal reply on that? Like I said, I know you made it clear, but just in that scenario, how will you tell them?
Because I am the Lord thy God, and you will worship me. That is my answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep my ID in the safe, like the hotel, so I travel. Code up, woman. Okay. All right, Diamond.
Okay, Diamond.
You be calling him. Yeah. All right. Lola, right? Do you have any thoughts about it? Queen Miss Polly?
I mean, not immediate. Not immediate because it's I ain't gonna say slightly beyond my pay grade, but
oh shit.
Well, anybody getting paid here, but yeah. Okay. What did she say?
But I'll say this, right? Just to kind of go back a little bit to the dating app thing. Okay. Back before dating apps was a thing, right? I attempted to date somebody like in a virtual state, and I thought it was new and exciting, and it offered so much. Then I realized that was a lie, and I haven't really seen that it's been the truth since. So I think dating apps, it might be an apparatus for you to physically, not physically, but just meet people, personalities. However, it does take away from the humanism of meeting people for romantic interest. It's like that requires physicality, and there's certain things we pick up on when we're in person that we can never know over any type of physical thing. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Technology has really been making us antisocial and really taking away some of our human skills. And this is one of them. So, I get it. If you're single and you really want to meet people, you can use the app. You can really use the app. However, I would forego things before I would put myself in that scenario again.
Okay. So basically, the internet is dumbing us down. In other words, which I totally agree.
I mean, it's dumbing us down via omission, though. It's like, if you don't get a chance to see people and interact with people, you won't ever really pick up on the cues that create communication between us, which is verbal and nonverbal cues. Right now, all we got is what you can read, nothing else.
Anybody else have any thoughts about it? What about you, Intellectual SoapBox?
No, I'm chilling.
Okay. I think unfortunately, sorry, hold on for a second. I'll be right back.
I do think that, like I said, even for me, I'm not a texter. I'm not a big texter. As soon as a gentleman seems like they're interested, I'll talk to them for a couple minutes, and then I'm like, okay, so are we video calling or voice recording something? I want to hear you. I don't even really like to, text too much. I can be sarcastic sometimes, and it's lost in translation. You know what I'm saying? Because one of my partners, me and him, that we have a, like, when we're upset or emotional or whatever, or having a moment, we don't text, we call. Because there has been times where I said something and he'll say, "Oh, you being a smart ass," something I'm not, but it just comes through the text like that. So we don't mess with text. You gotta call me or voice it, something. It ain't gonna work. So I think you do lose a little bit of something. That's why I do like people to visually see me and me to see them. So I kind of like that the video call stuff is there, available to use. With some of the data apps, like I don't like that just text and crap. That don't work for me. Not the whole time.
Yeah, but when somebody's gonna get to a point where you just build your nerve, act like an adult, and just make their approach. Look, I know society, for you women, right? You guys have a leeway because the men are supposed to be doing the approaching, but still, women still create opportunities to still be approached. All this social media stuff, like in the long run, even if you're using it as a tool because you're afraid of getting rejected, in front of your face, it's still hindering like your growth of being social. One of these days, you can't just always have a virtual chat. You're gonna have to meet in person. And when you finally meet in person, I don't care how many times you probably talk on social media, you're gonna wind up freezing up, because by nature, it wasn't intended for us to socialize so far away, to be doing all this texting, sending this message here and there too. Only reason why we're sending messages is because we can't even think or articulate what we want to say at the moment. And because we haven't used that as a skill to our muscle memory. Oh, go ahead, Rosie.
No, my fault. I ain't. I wasn't trying to cut you off. I just wanted to add on.
Yeah, go ahead. Add on.
I also agree. You know what I'm saying? I think I think with the Instagram and all these other apps, it just made from what I'm seeing or what I have seen, especially since I've been home, it just, seems like a lot of people are just scared to, interact with just a simple, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Just even in passing, it don't mean you gotta, approach a woman, or if a woman is trying to, get at a dude, on some shit okay, well, it got to be a perfect environment. Bro, I'll be all over the place, and I'll just be striking up random conversations with all your women. You know what I'm saying? Especially the ones that be having like a look on their face, like they angry. You know what I mean? Just to see if, you know what I'm saying? If she really like that, she might be having a bad day. You know what I mean? I might say something, you know what I'm saying, corny or just witty. Be like, hey, yo, sweetheart, you know what I'm saying? How's everything going? You know what I'm saying? She might, you know what I'm saying, just start smiling or whatever. Then that might lead to, you know what I'm saying, something else, like me complimenting her, you know what I'm saying, her hair, or, you know what I mean? Or it may be something going on at the job, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, you look a little stressed out. She might start smiling, yeah, my boss, you get on my nerves or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like a spur of the moment. In a lot of ways, I look at it as you know what I'm saying, when the rappers say, yo, I don't write, you know what I'm saying, I'll freestyle off the top. You know what I'm saying? But you notice some of the best people that are able to freestyle, they're not born with that ability. You know what I'm saying? They have to practice their craft. So they started out writing first. And then just, you know what I'm saying, probably freestyling, you know what I'm saying, in a dark room by themselves. And then they just kept practicing and then they got better. It's the same thing with anything else. Look
it's
at
art.
Yeah, it's an art. You know what I'm saying? So a person who's not comfortable with doing it, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be particularly hard for them, or they're going to feel, you know what I mean, or they may be a little bit more timid and trying to step out of their comfort zone, damn, you know what I'm saying, I see her looking at me, but I don't know if she really into me. How you know what I'm saying, it's just a lot of dudes, you know what I'm saying, say this, but it's, you know what I'm saying, it's a fact, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you really have to go into, you know what I'm saying, the game. And when I say the game, a man going after your woman that he's looking at and he finds attractive and he may see something about it, but all right, well, cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just walk up to shorty, you know what I'm saying, tell her my name or strike up some little, you know what I'm saying, little small talk. you never know where it may lead to. You know what I'm saying? And this is the intricate thing about when you talk about like, you know, chemistry, because you really can't define the chemistry. It's just something that, you know what I'm saying? It's like invisible energies that just, you know what I'm saying, happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, that's the intricacies of like, you know, the human analogy within itself. Some things you really can't define like as words and writing them down on paper. It's just things that kind of just happen at the spur of the your moment. Like, you know, people who may have been married like 10, 12, 15 years, and then, you know, an outsider may ask you like, hey, like, how did you and your wife meet? And then it'll be like a funny story. It might be like, yo, we was on the bus, and, you know what I mean, he ran into me and he spilled his drink, and next thing you know, we just had, you know what I'm saying, a conversation. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've heard stories like that. And then, you know, people have, you know what I'm saying, a variety of stories that give you some type of insight when you can see, okay, well, damn, yo, that was a cool way to, you know what I'm saying, for people to, you know what I'm saying, meet. You know what I'm saying? So just going back to, I guess, to what Miss Polly was talking about, she was like, you know, she don't, you know what I'm saying, you know, text, and I don't either, but I do text, but it's always short, like, yo, I'm on the way, or I'm 5 minutes late, yo, or I'm on the road, you know what I'm saying, call me when you have a, you know what I'm saying, free time. But I'm never ever having a long drawn out essay. For one, I don't even type that good, so I'm not about to type 1,000-word conversation up. Like, even with like my other homeboys, like, some of them other niggas might be more adequate at like typing. I be telling them niggas like, bro, I'm not about to type, nigga, call me. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, like, pick up the phone. You know what I'm saying? So I'm never doing that, but yeah, that's all I wanted to add.
No, that's a good way to kind of like put it, because everything is pretty much practical. Well, at least most things could be practical, and other things could just be natural. But as far as communication, a lot of times it's through experience, and you practice on that. And I feel like when we kind of lose that sort of that time and that practice on things, we miss out like on a lot of it, because we're too focused on trying to take things the easy way. Some are like the natural, like, you know, reasons of, you know, how like folks, like, you know, like say my wife and I met up or had conversations. I mean, yeah, it starts off with a funny story. I was thirsty. She handed me some water, and that was it. You know? And people will think that, oh, you know, you went through this long entire romantic journey, and you must have said something like the most sweetest words or whatever. Nah, it ain't about like no sweet talk. It's just that you just had a connection with that person. And when you find a connection, you'll feel it right there. You're like, man, I can connect with this person, and if that person have that same type of feeling, bam, you guys are good.
Hey, look, and also to add on too, like 99% of communication is non-verbal. It's like what is not even said. It's the same way like when you hear women say, you know what I'm saying, they'll be like, well, I seen this guy, he was like giving me the eye, but he didn't say something. Like, women can pick up on that. It's just like, you know, I look at it like, and I've learned this, you know what I'm saying, you know, over the years, that, you know, like a woman's like a woman's like seventh sense is her ability to smell a man out that doesn't have confidence in himself. Women can pick that shit up like sharks smell blood in the water. So like when a dude is carrying himself in a certain way, or, you know what I mean, like in his speech, if he's not, you know what I'm saying, you know, holding a monotone of a type of, you know what I'm saying, dialect, women can pick up on that. Like women inherently can like say, damn, yo, like it's something about him, like he's shy, or he seems timid, or he might be intimidated, or he's scared. Like, you know what I'm saying, even by the way dudes walk. Like if you walk, you know what I'm saying, with your back like hunched over, and you always like looking down, like your body language is showing that you have no, you know, confidence. Or when you talk to people and you're afraid to look them in the eye, You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing like I pick up on too, like you know what I'm saying? Like I notice like when I be talking, you know what I'm saying, to women, just you know what I'm saying, you know, when I'm like out and about, I always try to lock eyes because I notice that the longer you hold the gaze, they'll blink first and then look away. You know what I'm saying? But that's like a woman's way of like seeing is the man going to drop his eyes first. And believe it or not, like this is the real thing. And for the ladies that you're listening, and you know, for all the other guys, like you know what I'm saying, like just you know what I'm saying, try it. You know what I'm saying, and just see. But like, it's something that I've done over and over, and that shit works. That shit works, bro. It is so subtle, and it's so you know powerful in itself. Because when I talk to you know what I'm saying, the women. Like I don't even care about how her body look, how big her titties is, how the ass look, or anything. I'm looking her in the eyes. You know what I'm saying? And women get real intimidated when you look them in the eye because most guys are scared to even hold eye contact. So whoever blinks away first, you know what I'm saying? If the dude blinks away first and he moves his head down and starts like looking around and all of that, that's going to be an easy sign for a woman to say, okay, well, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, he's not as confident. You know what I'm saying? Now, if a woman blinks first and she's like looking away, then she's not like intimidated, but it's kind of like a way of like, you know, you being able to like break into her. You know what I'm saying? Because like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, women are weird, bro. You know what I'm saying? And they know they are. You know what I'm saying? You know, and they're really unable to substantiate the things that they say, you know what I'm saying? Which is why when you hear them say, they're like, well, I feel, well, this guy, he made me feel like this, and I felt like that, but they're never judging, you know what I'm saying, the dude based upon, you know what I'm saying, his character, his moral compass, what it is, you know what I'm saying? You know, so that's all.
Oh, that's what's up. Thank you, Rosie.
This shit is easy, bro.
And we have Mr. Sir Hell Speaks in the building. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for Sir Hell Speaks. Salute to you, my brother. Thank you for tuning in. And I think you're on like, well, you have like 3,000 subscribers. So definitely like big salutes to you, you know? All right, thank you for tuning in. All right, okay. People, like in a few minutes, I'm going to like wrap things up. I know Lola, she has like a bedtime and she has to get ready for work. So am I. So we still got. I'll give like maybe like 5 more minutes. All right. If anybody else want to say something, it could be Queen, Miss Polly, Lola, SoapBox.
I would just like to say that, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I would just like to say that I definitely agree with Razik in terms of the natural ability that women have to sniff out, let's say, fear, if for all intents and purposes. And it's something we do subconsciously. And I want to say maybe it's a way nature has wired us to pick men or whatever the case may be. However, that's something that I have noticed being an issue, and men saying, they don't like that, right? But honestly, it's like he said, it's not easy out here for a reason. So, you're not gonna find that soft spot in the world. So you have to have some tough skin. To just walk up to people. I've been practicing that myself. However, I don't know. My life is just weird. But I definitely agree with what you said there.
Okay. I gotta respond to people in the chat. Yeah, and definitely like salutes to Braves, Hawks, and Falcons fans. So thank you for tuning in. So appreciate you guys.
Hey, MZ Polly, Miss Polly, do you agree or you don't? What's your thoughts on what I said
about the 7 cents?
And I don't think it's like a 7 cents. That's just, you know what I'm saying, my way of describing what I was trying to. That's all. But yeah, what's your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, I do think that women do look for men with certain characteristics, leadership characteristics, regardless of how feminine or masculine they may be. I think they're going to look for someone who's strong in general. I think we do that. So it just depends, I guess, because like I said a long time ago, I'm a little different. Like I can be aggressive sometimes, and then I can turn it off and on. So it depends on the situation.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Do you think that guys like when women are or are more aggressive in their approach?
Like if talking to them, like coming up to them and talking to them?
No, I'm saying in a sexual manner, because women are not just trying to have a regular conversation as far as like business. Like your whole aura is like, listen to what I'm saying. Your whole aura is sexual in nature.
Okay.
Do you agree or no?
Do we think that
your nature as a woman,
sexual all the time?
Okay. So do you think that is a good thing or a bad thing? Oh, she froze.
I guess.
Sir, repeat yourself again, Miss Pauly.
You going in and out.
Depends on who it is.
But he's not still.
Yeah, it depends on who it is, I would say.
But what are your thoughts? Do you feel like that's a good approach? Like you personally, if that's a good approach, like for a woman.
If you're asking me personally, I mean, I can be. So, and I mean, I've never had it. I mean, the way I do it, I haven't had an issue with it. I mean, there's a way to be assertive as a woman and not come off as I'm taking it or I want, there can't be a way.
But hold on. But that's not what I'm asking, Miss Polly. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking specifically.
Yes.
Do you think that aggressive women or you being aggressive is a turn on or a turn off in the eyes of men?
I said it depends on the man.
I'm gonna sit here and tell you on the balance of.
I don't think that most men like aggressive because they want to be seen as aggressive. So no.
No, but like when I say that, I mean like when you initiate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and maybe I might be the lone star. But I like when a woman is initiative in her approach. Not saying like, not saying right off the jump, but I'm saying like if we've been talking to each other for a while and just, us hanging around and being around each other, you know what I'm saying? That shit is a turn on. You know what I'm saying? Because now it gives me the green. Right, because it gives me the green light and knowing that, okay, you really want the dick, or you want some affection. You want to be rubbed on. You want to be held and caressed.
I think that women, sometimes, not everyone, but sometimes the signals that women give can. So I think when a woman shows a little assertiveness, it's very clear then what they want. So I do think men like that. And then sometimes if you've been with someone and them showing desire for you is obviously going to be a turn on. That's just what it is. I think everyone wants to feel wanted. So if someone's like, guys don't get a lot of compliments. Let's just be honest. Women are used to that. But, that's why I say go ahead, compliment your boyfriend. Boo, tell me he looks nice, do something nice for him because you want him to know that you still desire him, because they don't get told that a lot. They don't know desire them. They just know that, okay, I provide you all these things, and yeah, you may be happy, but to know that you actually are wanted, that is something that women don't normally do.
Well, see, that's also because a man has to earn that from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, you're not going to go up to a bum on the street, but like, hey, you look real nice today, or you smell good. You're not, because he's literally showing you that he's not willing to earn that off of you. So, you know what I'm saying? So a man that works, that's one aspect. A man that literally sacrifices his life, you know what I'm saying? Whether or not if he's doing a dangerous job, or by him working 14, 16 hours out of the day, he's literally sacrificing his body. So that inherently tells you that, yo, he's a hard worker. He's dedicated. He's ambitious. You know what I'm saying? So when I hear, you know what I'm saying, women say things like, okay, well, yeah, I want a man to be confident. He got to be ambitious. He got to want goals for himself. That literally plays into everything that you just said. And this is how women operate. And I said this on somebody else's panel, and I got a lot of pushback for it, but all women are the same. Y'all can't help it. All of you are the same. Now, the only difference is that your bodies are different. So your titties, so your titties may be a little bit bigger, or her titties may be a little bit smaller. Your ass may, you know what I mean, you know, or you may have dimples. Other girls don't. So I'm talking about like the hardware of your makeup, your physical body is just separate.
I disagree with you.
I mean, I already know you are. I already know you are, because I say this to plenty of women. They like, no, I'm not. I'm an individual. We ain't all the same. No, and all these women.
Well, there's
so why you disagree, Ms. Polly?
So you have to know.
Hold on, y'all. I want to give a quick shout out to the homie. Hold on, Ms. Polly. Hold on 1 second. You want to give a quick shout out to the homie, Vouaghn. Eric. Vouaghn, what's going on, baby? Good to see you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Vouaghn, Eric. Go on, Ms. Polly.
Oh no, I think there's different kind of women. I think there are particular kind of women that. I would think when men say things like, "Oh, you're all the same," it's probably because you're dating very similar women. You don't go outside the box of what the women you date. Yeah, like you just said, titties are titties; they look different, blah blah blah. But have you actually dated someone who's totally different from those women intellectually?
I've dated white women. I've dated white women.
Not color.
Filipino.
Have you dated
I'm just saying,
different women?
I've dated plenty of women, and I'm telling you, all of you act the same. Y'all are all the same. You're not an island. Look, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this right. Most guys are the same. Do you agree?
No.
Why?
I'm telling you no, because if that was the case, then a lot of women out here who are saying, and men who say they can't find partners, that would be a lie, because everyone's basically the same. You should have easy pickings.
No, that's not it. Look, you're conflating.
They're all basically the same. This should be
but then you moved it to, you know what I'm saying, being picked. That's not the conversation. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying from a static.
They're all the same.
Well, I'm saying from a static standpoint.
Then you should have no issue finding a woman.
That's not the conversation here. Hey, look, intellectual. You see how this works? You see how this works?
Oh my God, that was funny as hell, man.
Intellectual. Hey, intellectual. And look, and we've had this conversation. I've had this conversation with other women, you know what I'm saying, just to see.
I'm not laughing at you, Miss Polly. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the comment just completely, just the way you said you should have no hard time finding a woman. Just the way you said that was so funny.
Funny, yeah, it is.
I don't know why she said it like that, but the way she said it.
Hey, look, wow. I caught on to it, but it's so like it's so it tells so much. It tells so much because women like. You know, and I hate to sound like a narcissist, you know what I'm saying, because I am, you know what I'm saying, and I'm very, you know, and I'm kind of like borderline arrogant, but I'm telling you, like the way your responses are are so revealing, which is why I can sit here and say all women are the same. Y'all all respond the same way. The words may be a little bit slightly different, but y'all all respond the same way. Because I know from a woman's standpoint, it is impossible for you to look outside of yourself, and your viewpoint of men are only going to reflect the men that you have been with in the past, which is why I understand why you talk the way that you do. And that's not a diss. I'm just saying. But go ahead, Mo.
I'll just say this real quick. I'll say this real quick before Miss Polly responds. I think genetically all women the same, and I think emotionally at times women can go towards their emotions because they're how can I say, their body chemistry and just what they operate on, estrogen. Yes, they can be more emotional and they can come from a more emotional response, but I think their choices in life and what they prefer could be vastly different. Like Miss Polly is Polly, right? The other two women on this panel are not Polly, right? You know what I'm saying? So everybody is, every woman is different as far as their choices. I would say the way they process things, or the way that they process things as far as being emotional, I feel like that could be the same. Like, because women to me are not they don't really operate on logic too much. They really operate on emotion a lot of times. So yeah, I would say that is the difference.
Hey, look, intellect and M3. Let me ask y'all something, and ladies, pay attention to this. Now, to you know what I'm saying, to you, you know what I'm saying, men, right? Would you agree or disagree that men have more things in common than we do different?
You asking me or her?
No, to you know what I'm saying, M3 and you, bro, intellect.
I think we do have a lot of things in common, but like there's certain things that we don't. Like M3 don't watch sports. I do, right? You watch sports, right? M3 games, I game. You may not game, right? Like so I think we do have a lot of things in common, but there are also things that we don't all do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think also like as like it's hard to put
Slow over rain.
You know what I mean? Oh, Salute Over Rain. You know what I mean? It's hard to put everybody in the same category because now, in society, men and women both have the ability to not be traditional anymore, right? Before you had to be traditional. About 30, 40 years ago, there was no choice. It was only traditional.
You're moving the goalposts, bro. That's not what I'm talking about.
No, but listen, this is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There was no poly. There was no embracing of other genders, and if you did have transgenders or anything like that, it was kind of swept under the rug, right? But now, since there's so many different aspects of men, women, transgenders, and everything else, you know what I mean? You don't know who. Like a lot of times, you can meet somebody, and you can just think, "Oh, homeboy like this, or he like that, or me and him could vibe on this." And
hey, bro, let me ask you again.
Completely different.
Let me ask you again. Yeah. Bro, do men are men, generally speaking, generally speaking, are we more alike or are we more not alike?
So yeah, that's a complex question, bro. I can't say that we more alike than not alike because I think every man is different. Like I think every woman is different nowadays, just based on society. You know what I mean?
Basically, you're asking us, like, do we think alike as men?
Right.
No.
You don't?
Nah. Because you got men because you got men that's more dominant.
You surround people who think like you.
You got men that's more dominant. You got men that's more dominant and it hold on, Miss Polly. You got men that's more dominant, and they're not playing that shit, and they saying, "Yo, what I say goes within my household and my relationship." And then you got men with that happy wife, happy life type shit. You know what I mean? So it varies. So,
well, look, try to answer it, but don't include dating and relationships. Just how if you were to just put like a group of like maybe 1,000 men across the board.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And just in how we move, how we act.
You're talking you're talking about statistics.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I mean, because basically it's like it kind of falls. I mean, maybe that's not the intent, but that's where it sounds like it's kind of getting towards. Like statistically, right? Do men think about women on a certain type of level? Meaning, like, okay, if I'm seeing like a baddie, right? What my body is going to react to? You know, my little sauce is going to go up, right? What do most men think about, or what is commonly like, you know, statistically that is converse, you know, and what statistically that's converse is that, you know, when it comes to what men want, men thrive off of being I won't say overachievers, but to achieve stuff. Men thrive off of, you know, women that could give them the pleasure that they desire. Men thrive off of beautiful women. Now, I can't say what type.
You're doing it. You're not to do. You're once again including relationships. He's saying in general, as men are just standing there, not interacting with women. Are you all the same?
No, but I'm
no. Well, look. What I'm saying is,
you get me right.
Right. Yeah, I do. But look, let me kind of chime in. Mm-hmm. The reason why I say that is because if we were more different than just what you see of like the conversations even on YouTube, mm-hmm. more men and women are having similar experiences with a variety of group of, you know what I'm saying, men interacting with women and women interacting with men. The conversations are more redundant in a sense because there's not too much differences going on between a variety of people talking about relationships. Like you can go on Fresh and Fit, they're talking about relationships, you know what I'm saying, and kind of like in the same context of what's going on here, from a Lapeef to Anton to dudes like Steph is Cold, Donovan Sharp, you know what I'm saying, you know, other you know what I'm saying, like everybody is kind of having, you know, in a sense, you know what I'm saying, the same type of conversation. So going back to my original point, that was why I was asking, you know what I'm saying, if y'all agree or did not agree that more men are alike.
I think it's particular men. This is why, because like you said, these particular people who are having these same conversations that are redundant over and over again, it's because these for a particular relationship, a particular partner, and they're having the same conversation because they're only dealing with themselves. If they went outside of that box, that's not, I don't think it's moving the goal. It's just saying these particular people are looking for something. So the conversation that they're having, the issues they're having is amongst themselves. Actually,
that isn't the case. That isn't the case. That isn't the case, Miss Young Lady. I'm telling you, if you really pay attention and you look, the conversations are more similar. I'm just saying.
I just disagree with you. I can pay attention.
Look. Lapeef and them are having the same type of conversations that we're having now. I talked to B-Eazy on the phone. We have the same type of conversations. I talked to Intellect. We have the same type of conversations. I talked to my homeboys on the street. We have the same type of conversations. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to be exactly the same. You know what I mean? And like nothing is ever like exactly to achieve the same. But I'm saying the similarities are more in line than the differences, which is why the conversations are happening more. That's all. That's the only thing I'm saying. I'm never saying no. Like even going back to my point, just saying that women are all the same. I'm not saying all of y'all are exactly the same, but I'm saying the mindset, the way women think, y'all all think the same, and that's not a diss. You know what I'm saying? That's the way you were biologically made. The same way with men, we all think similar. They're not different. We all have a lot of similarities. And I'm gonna even throw out this to you. There's a book by Robert Greene called The Human Laws of Nature. You need to read that book. That is a phenomenal book. Phenomenal book.
Laws of Human Nature. Yeah, I got that book too. Red cover. Got that book
Yes,
too, bro.
sir. Fire.
Yeah.
Fire. In other words, we're more alike than we're not. That's the whole point. Like,
I'm sorry,
bro.
I'll also recommend A Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman by Shahrazad Ali, as well as A Black Woman's Guide to Understanding the Black Man, also by Shahrazad Ali. Salute to Daryl Long.
And The Way of the Superior Man by David Gadgetta. Fire book as well. Yeah.
We are not the same.
I would say this. I'm gonna say this. I think that
hell no.
That logically, I would say based on logic, yes, most men work based on logic, right? But there are some outliers of men who don't work based on logic. But for the most part, we do. So I would say yes, in that aspect, yes. But there are some outliers of men who are very emotional, especially nowadays. So yeah.
Okay, let me just ask you this.
I don't agree.
Just soapbox answer this. Do you think that when we have conversations as far as we have, do you believe that I would be in the same so far in the same box as highly emotional?
Yes, absolutely.
No, I didn't ask you.
Do I believe you'd be highly emotional? I believe it takes a certain type of man to bring certain emotions out of you. I think if it's
that's not what I asked. So you're basically
that's
saying
what
you're saying no. Just say no.
That's
say
right.
No.
You are.
Polly. Miss Polly.
Hold on. Hold on. Are you asking me generally? Or you want me to explain?
No.
If you ask me generally, then no.
Yes or no?
Then no. With most men, you're not highly emotional. But if you ever want me to answer in specifics, I would. But I would say no.
No, I just want to know just this bad. Would you qualify? Because like I said, we've just met recently, but based on just the conversations that we have had, do I seem in the realm of very emotional?
No.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You know what I mean? But like I said, it's like if I did expand on the answer, you know what I'm saying? Which but that's up to you. If you want me to expand on the answer, I would, and I would explain why I believe it takes a certain type of man. But that's a whole
later, maybe.
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation for a different time.
Hey, look, look. I can trigger every female on this panel. The same way. The same way. I'm telling you, you are emotional. You are emotional. You can't help it. You are emotional.
You're emotional too.
No, I'm not. I have no feelings.
Emotional.
I have no feelings.
You're not emotional.
No, I have no feelings.
Then you're not alive.
I have no feelings.
You're dead.
I don't filter the world through my feelings. I filter the world through logic and knowledge.
Okay.
That is a big difference.
That doesn't mean you don't have feelings.
Difference.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you don't have feelings.
Anyway, women are not alike. Okay, so we are not alike. We don't think alike. We don't move alike. We have the same chemistry, the same hormones, but we do not act on those hormones the same. Every man don't act alike. So I have 3 sisters and 2 brothers. We are all very different in how we move and respond to the world. So no, we do not act alike. We are not the same. I am not Miss Polly. She is not me, and I'm not Miss O'Shell or Lola and whatever. So no. No.
But Queen, I will say respectfully, it's not surface level. I'm going.
I didn't
deep.
say that.
I'm going, but I'm
said
talking
how we respond and react. Eat too. That's not surface. Your response and reactions come from a deep place of what you're going through. We can go through the same thing, and my response to it will be very different than my 3 sisters. And their response will be very different than each other's. We're going through the same thing. So no, it's not true.
Yeah, y'all don't all like to like.
I will allow you to say a lot. You can say some. You can say a large part. I'll even give you that. But I think if you say all, you're including everyone in your comment.
We're not a box.
I sure am.
Well, there you go. That if you were to even say,
the problem.
Hey, there's a few that may not be that way.
It ain't no issue to me. You know what I mean? I like. Well, I can't say I don't like all women, but you know what I mean. You know,
but I mean, I like. They're all basically the same.
And I just added context earlier. You know what I'm saying that I'm talking about the mindset.
And I understand what you're saying, but my thing is, if we're all basically down to earth, all the same, you should have no issue finding any partner. And everyone who's saying they can't find someone, that's
I never said that. I never said that.
If your logic is true,
I never said that though, Miss Polly. I don't know what other men. You know what I'm saying? Well, I do know what a lot of guys are saying. Me personally.
But your logic is that all men are the same and all women are basically the same.
So everybody should have somebody.
You should never have a problem finding someone because they're basically the same, other than ass, titties, hair, strength. Basically,
but you keep saying, but you keep insinuating that you should have no problem with finding. I never said that. That's not even a part of the talk that we're even having. I never even said that. That's not even a part of this. I'm just saying, if women were on a island. If you were to put 100 of your women, you know what I'm saying, and not saying that, and again, I didn't say y'all are, everything about you is the same, but mentally, on a general sense, y'all move, y'all act, y'all conduct yourselves in a way that is prevalent to most men. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it may be harder for you as a female to kind of see outside of yourself, to see, what it is that men are actually observing. That's just like, for example, I'm not a woman, so I don't know what men look like in the eyes of women. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not, I don't have a vagina and titties. I don't know. So, but what I'm saying is that not like the way women talk about men, y'all are filtering, you know what I'm saying, the men that you have encountered throughout your life, and that is your viewpoint amongst men. Because women have these conversations all the time, and they say, well, guys act like this, and you know what I'm saying? So certain guys act like this. That's even when I asked you a question to the other guys, I was like, are all men all the same? Or in other contexts saying, do we act more similar than not? You know what I'm saying? We have much more commonalities amongst each other than we don't. And then on top of that, when you look at men and women, we're all human. You know what I'm saying? So the human element is more similar than it isn't. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we're all, some smoke, some don't. Some drink, some don't. Some, like to drive. Some don't enjoy driving. Some are more sexual in nature. Some are not. You know what I'm saying? But there's a commonality in each set. That's the only thing I'm saying.
What is the commonality? Maybe that will...
Well, for women or men?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, it should, based upon the question that you're asking.
I mean, no, I just want your example, so then that can just be clear before I respond.
Okay, and I'm gonna be a little graphic here, but
sure.
You bleed once a month. You know what I'm saying? You pee
wait, Paul.
Sitting down.
You just said it wasn't physical because all people are different physically. So if it's not physical, we can't use physical.
Okay. All right, cool. So, the way you walk, like you sass when you walk, you have a sway in your hips, or the way you talk. You kind of talk with a soft tone. Um, you're very nurturing. You know what I'm saying? Or you're a biological nurturer. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be taught that. I'm gonna think.
Now let me challenge you to that. Just
Oh, look.
the
Okay.
few you just said, because we want to take a little at a time. Let's take a little
All
at
right.
a
Cool.
time.
Cool. All right. Cool.
Okay, so there are society things that guide us also. So when you said that we, sashay and all that, that's something that girls watch their moms do. So that's something that they're shown. And if you see boys who are with their mother a lot, what do? They start getting hand motions like girls. They start doing that because they're only around a woman and they're mimicking their parent who they learn from. And when there is two people in the household, a woman and a man, and they show that distinction in their household, then they show there's a difference. And women do teach their children to be women, and men teach their men to some degree how to be more manly. And you'll hear them correct their children. Don't do that. That's what girls do. Don't do that. That's what boys do. If you had no direction, you would just do whatever with no consequence. So that's a society kind of tailoring that.
Okay, so I can kind of concede to that. So I'm not going. Okay. Yeah,
okay. I'm just saying nature. We're just saying with nature.
You do have your point.
I'm just saying if that was the case. If you're talking about nurturing, parenting, nurturing, that also little society. I do believe moms want to be moms because they gave birth to something that was living in them, and that's part of it. And you care for that being. But there are some moms who don't have those connections with their children, a lot of women, and they just don't talk about it because it's frowned upon by society. To not have that connection when you have a child born. And that's something you're told to do. You're supposed to love your child. You have to. You have no choice. And there's some women who bum rush that and just run the streets because they actually don't have that connection, but they just don't talk about it.
Well, look. I'll say this because especially when Queen is up here, and she I has a lot of love for Queen, but but I'll just say maybe I need to go back to and do a little bit more studying and then reading. So I mean I'm not entirely closed. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be
I get you. A lot of men think similar. I will give you that. I said a lot of men think similar because society kind of guides us through life and our parents and upbringing to act a certain way. So when you're talking about certain men who act a certain way in different countries will act different than men who act here because they're shown that in their society that they live in. So if you're going to base that on our society here, absolutely. I will say in this country, particular men who want to be traditional, they will act very similar. And then the women who react to them and don't like certain things, it will be very similar because they're dealing with the similar things. Women in another place, another color, another society will not have the same complaints that we do. They just won't.
Well, I mean, yeah. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but
I'm not even putting no emotion on that. Because
I didn't say you.
I appreciate you. I just want to be clear for everybody else out there who might be still in non-agreement. I am saying that even in Black society, when we're sitting here as American Black people, in our household, we do things different than a white household. And that's why when we interact with other people of different colors and different society within our society, or different people in our society, we think it's weird.
Well, I mean, well, all right, cool. But look, I'll just say, hey, I'm saying this right.
I appreciate you for
I was,
listening.
oh yeah, of course. I'll say this. You know what I'm saying? I was, I did 10. You know what I'm saying? Locked up. You know what I mean? So, I think from what I've seen in society, in a lot of ways, it's hard to accept. You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up. You know what I'm saying, when men were like harder, you know what I'm saying? Like we were more static. we were more forceful in a sense. Like we were, you know what I'm saying? Like more like, yo, I'm King Kong. You know what I mean? You know, all of this type shit. So I was born in '83. You know what I'm saying? So, the '90s was a lot different. You know what I'm saying? Than what I'm seeing. I guess with the phones, technology, social media, like people are communicating differently than they did, in the 90s when you had the yellow pages. You know what I'm saying? Like when you didn't have emails, and I remember a time when you didn't even have like voicemail. Like people had to literally, like meet up. You know what I'm saying? And then, that was a thing. Now everybody wants to meet up on YouTube. We want to meet up on Clubhouse and Instagram lives and different stuff like that. So, I mean, yeah, I can concede. So maybe I'm just looking at the world from, in a lens to where I want it to be, because that's what I'm used to. And I think that what I'm seeing on a broad range from what has been going on, I would say probably going back to maybe 2010. You know what I'm saying? It's been a drastic change, even in the past 12 years. And you know what I'm saying, of the way how we used to interact from the way we're interacting now. It's just in my opinion, this shit is weird. I look, quick story. I remember when I first came home in 2016. And my man, he gave me the smartphone, and he was like, bro, yo, all the girls are on Facebook. I was like, Facebook? What the hell is that? He was like, bro, look up here. He was like, man, you can DM her, then you can DM her, man, you can holler, you can see her photos. I'm like, oh wow, so I was like, you know what I'm saying, shocked. I was like, yo, you can actually talk to her, and then he was like, yeah, man, just go ahead, you know what I'm saying, and hit her a message. So that was a new thing to me. I was blown away. I was like, damn, people are really doing that. And then that was the emergence of dating apps like Tinder, POF, Match.com, and all of that. I never got on any of those. I was like, oh wow, this is the thing. And then everything was just swipe right, swipe left. You know what I'm saying? Swipe up, swipe down. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's been more so of a detriment. It's more of a hindrance than actually that it's helping with social interaction. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, I agree.
So maybe I'm just weird, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe I'm just, old school or old in a way. I'm only 39. So I don't I mean, of course I'm on, you know what I'm saying, YouTube now, but I don't even jump on the panels a whole lot.
Salute to Princess K. Princess K, what's going on, family? Good to see you.
Hey, man.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, you know what I mean? A lot of this is weird. It's just weird, you know what I mean? So, I mean, and even then, I noticed, when I try to, holler at, certain chicks, you know what I mean? I'm like, look, let me go ahead and have your number. She'd be like, well, you can have my Instagram. I'm like, I don't want your fucking Instagram. I want your number. I'm trying to talk to you. I mean, I'm not trying to be in your fan club. This shit is weird. You know what I mean? So, and girls will be like, well, I can't give you my number. I'm like, well, you want me to see you half naked? Because when I start following you, you got your titties out, you twerking. You got them posing, you with the camera up, and you got your ass poked out. You know what I mean? You trying to be sexy with some cleavage and all of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Do you want me to get to know you, or you want me to join your OnlyFans? I don't know. I'm just you know what I mean? So, and then off rip, I'm turned off from that. So, I don't know. It's just that's kind of you know what I'm saying, my viewpoint. And to be honest, I don't see it slowing down. I think it's going to eventually get steadily worse. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I think that these conversations will never, you know what I mean, go away. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't, you know.
Yeah. Salute to Bolo TV. Hey, y'all, listen, man. We've had a great show, y'all. You know, I gotta respect Lola and her time. Lola, is there any closing statements that you wanna give? Lola, you there? Don't tell me Lola fell asleep on the screen.
She probably
I think she did.
Probably feel it's okay.
No,
that's all right.
I think Lola fell asleep. Okay. In that case, we can continue the conversation. Go ahead, y'all.
Well, I mean, look, I'm getting on you ready to roll out. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely appreciate the invite, and maybe I hope I kind of gave up some pretty good insight. Miss Polly, I appreciate your viewpoint. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, let me ask you something. Do you have kids?
Yes, I do.
How many you got?
I have 6.
Jesus Christ. You got a whole starting 5.
I do.
Lord. And you're not married?
I was married. I am not anymore, and I'm poly, so
Wow. Well, hey, look, good luck to that. I wish you all the best.
I've been very successful. I've had lots of very positive moments, and good relationships. I'm pretty logical when it comes to things, I will say. So I get along with, people in general and exes and things like that. I don't have a drama like that. So it's been very pleasant, even if I do have some disagreements with someone. I usually have good conversation and we can make things work out. So, I haven't really had any issues like dating and stuff. I do hear people talk about dating, having a lot of issues. So I don't know. Like you said, I agree with what you said to some degree. Still, there are a lot of women who are very similar. And if you move amongst those particular women, you do need to know how to act accordingly. Absolutely. So I do agree with that. But there are some women that you will find that aren't like that, but they're not going to be around those other women because we think differently. And me and Queen actually are very, I haven't known Queen very long, but me and her are very different. And even just in general, we're just different. And so just knowing that, to have us both scream, you should know that you have to find a particular kind of woman that will fit you, if that makes sense. I'm not saying you right in this moment. I'm just saying any guy out there, just find someone who fits who you are and who you want to be with. And if you're having bad luck with particular women, stop fucking with that particular woman. Just to be honest.
Facts on that, Miss Polly. All right, does anybody have any closing statements?
Nah, I'm done, man. I'm done. I'm gonna go and let y'all close out. I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy my night. Y'all enjoy yours.
All right, Miss Polly, stick around after we close.
Okay.
I know you have some questions for me, so stick around after we close. But listen, y'all, thank you for tuning in to another edition of Knowledge and Relationships. We appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Definitely thank y'all for being with us, rocking with us. You know what I mean? And definitely, man, please make sure you like and subscribe. Please make sure y'all leave a comment at the end of the show, okay? Leave a comment at the end of the show. You know what I mean? It builds up our algorithm. It helps us to grow as a network and as a team. And yeah, man, we truly appreciate y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? M3, you have any closing statements, bro? You muted, M3.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you guys for holding it down while I was away. Still handling business behind the scenes. But thank you for tuning into Knowledge and Relationships on YouTube and on Twitch as well too, and Facebook. So shout out to all the people who is always rocking with us and help us to boost the algorithm. But what will really help too is if you guys and ladies too, please write a comment or emoji after when the stream is closed. So once we close out, immediately write a comment. That helps build the algorithm. That brings more viewership and subscribers and supporters as well too. So thank you guys for always giving your time to watch our content. All right. Anybody else? Oh, Miss Paul, you was gonna say something?
No, okay.
All right. Okay, cool. All right, so stay tuned for more. Oh, Mr. Intellectual SoapBox, is OG Patrice is having a live stream this week?
No, that is next weekend.
Next weekend, okay. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay. I will say this. Tune into the Intellectual SoapBox. Tune in tomorrow. Lola has a stream tomorrow. Chronicles of Lola. She will be back. You know what I mean? Lola will be back tomorrow with the Chronicles of Lola. Check her out, y'all. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna have a topic that's gonna be fire. You know what I mean? Y'all already know how Lola get down, man. She may be on here. She had to go to sleep because she's probably gonna be here for 10 hours tomorrow. All right, so she might break the record and be on here for 10 hours. But yeah, salute to Lola and the Chronicles of Lola. Now make sure y'all stay tuned to that for tomorrow. You know what I mean? With that, y'all have a good night, man.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Get well to QB too. Get well to QB as well.
Yes, definitely. Always, man, give a shout out to QB and to DJ Eddie King too, and to everybody else that always be rocking with us. Ooh, excuse me, sorry. No matter what, and shout outs to Queen too for always coming here. And
shout out to Queen.
All right, everybody. We're gonna play the outro. Remember, comment. Go comment. Get ready to comment right now. Okay, ready, set, go. After when the live is over. Bam.
Knowledge and relationships